I'm doing well. Locked out.
Scribe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. TOM, teachers of Maat. Who am I today? The scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to re-emerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words. Sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up is none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the pet word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kemp originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra, who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip was slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah, co-founded a nation. Dictionary study spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism, wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is cold that. So black, I see through lies, why they hold that. Ocean motions, I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing, knee of speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine, Tehuti is Yah. This here is Patah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm Tutankhamun. Like his, when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I'm me, an echo of Tehuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best. keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution you can't escape from. We're Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keep a record on the record. I break records. This, that, medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, trinity. We are not the same, not even similar. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm backed by conscious beings. I am free, can't lock the wings in. The diction is firm, call me men. A man, 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is aid whom I earn. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my eyes. Verbiage is sound for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the traps. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get capped in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, Ba is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nesu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks, our stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living, we're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yeah, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with revealing the spells within this matrix from the Masons. But I'm the architect, best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Necha, bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time, frequency and flow through frequency. I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, netter, Kurt, show your worth, heal from all the hurt. Not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words, taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt, no time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad, tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon, school of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep.
Peace and love, Hotep. Welcome, everybody. Peace and love. Welcome to another Teachings of Maat Study Guide Sunday. Today's topic is Scribal School Sunday Sessions, Carving Reality, presented by PTAH Aten Tehuti. Before we begin with our lesson, we will begin as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. Hotep, great brothers. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Unki and Maat, Un and S, Nintet or Set and Maat, Min Hepapet and Maat, Her and Hu Kui, Per Iku. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Hotep, welcome everybody. I am Tef Remkem Maat, the chairman of the organization, the Techetu Teachings of Maat. I am a student of the master teacher, the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, and the host of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Maat. I'm a true-hearted follower of truth based on ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, a lover of my people and dedicated to learning the Meronetta, and a loyal defender of Maat. Next, we have the mighty Ahati Maat. Ahati Maat was taught under the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including the textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating, and he is responsible for this weekly study guide. Next, we have the mighty Menkhu Meri Maat. Menkhu Meri Maat specializes in training and educating youth workers, counselors, and educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live and shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. Menkhu has a master's degree in entertainment and media business and has been working in the music industry and with nonprofit agencies providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in the Madison area for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for Madison School community recreation, including Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 Musics for Youth. Next, we have the presenter for the night, the mighty scribe, PTAH Aten Tehuti, is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Natiru, a true follower and protector of Maat, a scribe of Tehuti and Maat. He studies under the master teacher, Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writings and creations to assist in awakening dormant DNA and reversing a negative hypnosis. Welcome, everybody, to a beautiful Teachings of Maat Study Guide Sundays.
What's up, great brother?
Peace, good brothers. How's my sound, man? I'm like tripping about my sound, trying to make sure my vocals is right.
Sounds perfect.
Peace and love to everybody in the chat. We see you guys. Robert Reyes, peace and love, great brother. Eric G, peace and love. Hotep Maat. Stephen E, Hotep Maat. BAJAN PHARAOH, peace, good brother. Hinu to you. Hinu to you, great sister Angela Gates. Peace and love. We see you in the chat. Beautiful supporters. We love the support. Menkhu, it's almost time, great brother. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see you, great brother. See you and your goddess, your Natur.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like miracles and magic has been happening up to this point, and now we get to see it all ceremoniously come together. It's gonna be powerful.
It absolutely is. It's gonna be a family reunion, Menkhu.
It's gonna be a family reunion. I've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this all our life.
Hinu to everybody that's going to be in attendance. It's going to be a wonderful organization. We have me and my Natur. We was just packing just now. I just got finished packing right before the class, getting myself together, getting ready to take this trip. It's a 5-hour, 6-hour flight for us, but
okay, yeah, that's a 4-hour flight for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to seeing all of you brothers. I miss you, brothers.
Yeah,
I miss
I
my
miss you too.
family. I miss my family.
I know it's gonna be so, man. Today I was like having visions of what it's gonna be like. So I'm excited. Locked in a DJ, a good DJ. I think
That's good.
The perfect DJ for this event just like appeared out of nowhere. So I'm excited. Like Sal deserves, we all deserve to live this life, a life of joy, a life of Heka. And Asabar Tehuti deserves to be honored. We got to honor our elders, like you always say. And he is going to get so much love. It's gonna be powerful. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. Get your tickets. It's almost time. Saturday, one more. What, we got less than a week now.
Yeah. Less than a week. It's Saturday. Yep, it's Saturday. So I need to pack. I haven't packed yet. I've been grinding and making everything come together for this event. So I'm excited to I need to start packing.
My Natur told me I gotta pack. She made me pack early because she said I take too long. So I went and put something together real quick, and I'm ready. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be ready to fly out, man. I'll be ready to go. My go button stay mashed. I'm ready. It's broke. It's stuck on. I'm ready to go. Always.
Nice. Like what your Turk did, because I gave myself a nickname today. It's Last Minute Louis. I'm Last Minute Louis. You got me waiting.
Not me.
Too much. I'm like, I need to change my ways.
Listen, you Last Minute Louis. My go button stay mashed. I'm ready to go. All gas, no brakes. Let's do it.
Like, I'm like, I won't let go. Once I have a vision, like if it needs to, if the piece comes in at the last minute, long as I meet my goal and don't abort the mission, then that's what I gotta do. So I hung in there, and all the parts are in place for us to honor. All you powerful light beings are gonna get something you deserve. All the love and Heka you deserve, the family reunion you deserve, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. So Last Minute Louis is coming through for y'all.
Last Minute Louis. What's up? Peace, Scribe. What's going on, good brother? Looking forward to an excellent class tonight.
Hotep, peace and love, great brothers. Yes, it's going to be fire. It's going to be great. Everyone, welcome to Scribal School. Of course, before we get into our class today, we have a couple things we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and post the link for the good brother BAJAN PHARAOH. Let me go ahead and post this in the chat for you, good brother, so you can go ahead and hit that link so you can be ready for once I finish the announcements. Okay, so first I want to show and give adoration to those who sent in support throughout the week. So let's go ahead and do that. First up, we have Tua and gratitude for your teachings. I am Kuzani, who sends 666 on October 16th. Shout out to this good brother here. Peace and love to you. Hearing some great things behind the scenes, good brother. Looking forward to building. Tua for your support, and we look forward to what you bring to the great teachings of Maat. Hotep, good brother. All right, and next we have Menkhu, who sends 333. Hotep, Meri, Natirus. Hotep, peace and love to the active member, Menkhu. To our good brother, look forward to seeing you at the event. To our for your support and everything that you do. Peace and love. All right, so of course, Hinu and Hotep to everyone who's watching on Rumble. We also get a nice crowd over there on Rumble while we're live. So Hotep to you, peace and love to you. And we this is a platform here that is our backup platform for anything that happens on YouTube, because it does happen, because YouTube is very restrictive in certain things that you can say. They have words that trigger the algorithm. So if an episode ever gets taken down, we'll always have it here as well on Rumble. So if you do not have an account here, go ahead and go over here and create an account here too. Okay, let's see. Yes, of course. teachingsofmaat.org/donate. This is how you show support to the class. This is Scribal School Sunday Sessions. So be sure everyone send in your tuition, which will be implemented, as the great Saba Tehuti says, coming up at this event. So tuition is a real thing. So if you support this information and you're here learning in this private class here, be sure to show your support by sending a Cash App or sending a PayPal to let us know you appreciate what's being taught, so we can continue to keep doing it. All right, next we have a business promotion creativity show. So if you have a business you want to promote, you can definitely come up and promote your business. Just reach out to us at teachingsofmaat.org, and also for anything creative. And that's what the good brother BAJAN PHARAOH is going to be implementing, or is going to be utilizing here today. Is this section here, the creativity show, where he's going to come forth and show some work that he's doing. So absolutely, to our good brother, and anyone else who wants to use this platform as a promotion, just reach out to us at teachingsofmaat.org. MetaNetter Mondays, every single Monday, our great Saba Tehuti hosts a MetaNetter class. Email him at mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. You can get the recordings if you can't be there live. So just email him. We're 55 classes in. So you have 55 offline classes that you can receive from the great Saba Tehuti, and 2.5, 3 hour long teachings that you will not get in the pod class. So utilize this email and to get the MetaNetter Monday classes. And Maat Wisdom Wednesdays. This is for all of the teachings of Maat members. This is going extremely well. We just had a class this past Wednesday going through some of the maxims of PTAH. It's absolutely fabulous. This is a free class for all of the members. So for those of you who are a member and who want to become a member, you can utilize this class here, which happens on Wednesday, the Wisdom Wednesday classes. And it's an excellent class for us to come together and read the Sebai. And we're going to get into a little bit of it today as well here in Scribal School. All right. Go ahead and get your hand claps ready, good brother. We're going to welcome the good brother BAJAN PHARAOH to the stage, which is perfect for this class and what we're doing. This is absolutely beautiful, because this is Scribal School Sunday Sessions, and going to go into what it really means to be a scribe. And it's more than just to write. So this good brother here, BAJAN PHARAOH, is going to present some of his scribal work as an artist. So peace and love, good brother. Hotep.
Welcome, good brother. Muted, brother.
Huge. Welcome. Hello.
All right. As he gets his headphones together, I'm going to put the link in the chat for our support links, so you can utilize. Peace and love, good brother. Primordial Thought 9, he is here. The great moderator. Peace and love, good brother. If you could drop those links in the chat for me, and I'll pin them so they'll be posted up at the top of the chat. All right. Roberto Reyes, Ma'akaru Amun Ray Hotep, peace and love, good brother. Nefer Keperet is in the building. My Art Wisdom Wednesday classes are amazing. Absolutely. Big Vapes, peace and love, good brother. Angela Gates, always. I'll send support later this week to our good sister. We know
peace and love. Can y'all hear me?
Assistant. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Brother.
Nice. Hotep Ma'at. Peace and love, everybody. Hello to all you brothers. Hello to the gods and the goddesses and to the ancestors. Always.
Hello to you, good brother. All right. And peace to Eric G. Peace to Eric G, who's in the chat. Shannon Souther, Hotep, good brothers. Hotep to you. Peace and love everyone who's watching live, and peace and love to everyone who's watching on the playback. All right, good brother Bajan Pharaoh. Let us know what you're up here to do.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you, brothers. Good to see you, sisters. Can y'all hear me? If y'all could press a 7 in the chat to let me know if y'all can hear me and see me clearly. Yeah, you could just press a 7 if you can hear me and see me clearly.
I'm gonna make you big screen.
Okay, no problem. Thanks to Annie. Nice.
All right, you're getting your 7s. Eric G, Big Vapes, Shannon Southern, Sandra Shepherd, peace to you, sister. Maharu, peace to you, good brother. Stephen E, peace to this good brother, the great active member, and the wonderful moderator, Primordial Thought 9.
Peace and love, everybody. Good. Okay. Welcome. My name is Bajan Pharaoh. To the newcomers to the chat, today I'm going to present a few of my drawings. I draw through illustration, so I draw through observation for what I see in life, whether it be outside, whether it be exotic pictures, comedic pictures, landscapes, sketches. So I would like to present one of my pictures right now. So this picture here, I don't know if y'all can see it. This picture here is Spawn. I don't know if y'all recognize or seen the movie. It came out in 1997. So this is an illustration that I've copied off the internet, and I keep in my records. So that would be Spawn. And the person that played it, his name is Al Simmons, as Spawn. So that's one of my illustrations right there. Okay. And next up, I would like to show a picture of the Tehuti bird, which will be sketched too also. As you can see, the Nemez on his crown, the beak to dig on his arm. Yes, this picture is very, very old, so it's coming out of the archives. Yes. These are my sketches. Okay. And next up, this picture here is actually one of my favorites. This here is Aten and Nefertari, not the actual Nefertari off the walls of Kemet. This was before I knew Saba and his teachings. And as you can see, the Nefer is in Nefertiti's Shen, and the spirit of Aten in his Shen, and the broken Nemez on his crown. And you can see the the collar around Nefertari's, shoulders.
You
Around
had
her
it correct,
collar.
good brother. It's Nefertiti.
Okay. Two for that, Annie. Appreciate it. Yes. Yes. One of my favorites. Okay. And next up, I have a picture that I've drawn in 2020. This picture here, I would say, represents, as Tehuti would say, Henutu Saba, peace and love, as breaking the matrix. Break the chain, come to the truth, come back home to Maat, come back to the ancestors, the originals, ancestral artifacts over religious opinions. So break the matrix, break the chain, and know thyself and know the truth. Okay. Next up, I have another one of my favorites. This here is Asar with the crook and the frail, and also the collar that he has that Tehuti I broke down in one of the classes, and the nemez on his crown. And also the collar is the rebirth from the mother and her protective wings. And it's also patah, which is the color green. And it's the birth, the egg, called the sahut, or the sahu, as we know as the mummy. So that's why he's in white. The usek, the nefer, the expansion, the reflecting, our spiritual goal through the physical life and the afterlife. Beautiful. So these are my sketches. Okay. And last but not least, this picture here is something I hold dearly to my heart. It's a picture of my great-great-grandmother, Verona Austin, also known as to my family as Mummy or Granny. This is a picture of my beautiful, beautiful grandmother. As you see, with the eye around her neck. I love you so much, Granny. I miss you a lot. This is for you. I did this for you. So from November 1934 to August 2023. I love you so much. So, and this here is a book that I started to draw nothing but comedic pictures. So this first picture here is a picture of Aten, Akhenaten. As you see, his name inside the Shen. And the next sketch I have is actually a sketch from the walls of Kemet. This here, I will send reciprocity to Saba so he could break this down for me. It's probably going to be like a 20-part series because you know when Saba goes in, he goes in hard. So I would definitely send reciprocities to Saba to break this down for me. And I actually started this last week, Monday. So there's more to this picture here. The ancestors were so beautiful. They left us so much information, and it's all true and it's all facts. Yes. So without taking up any more time, because I know there's a class to be taught, I would like to say Henu to Saba. I appreciate you. Thank you. Without you, this would not be possible. Henu to Ani, Henu to Atef, Henu to Primordial Thought, Henu to Ahati. Have been a long time, brother. Peace and love. Hope everything is okay. And peace and love to the gods and the goddesses in the chat. And that's where I would end my session. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love,
Hotel.
brother. And new to you, great brother. Thank you for showing us that, brother. You're very, very talented, brother. Those are amazing, amazing pictures, my good brother.
Tua.
Brother. Henu to you, great brother.
Tua, Atef. I appreciate it.
Keep up the great work, brother. Those were absolutely never beautiful, beautiful pictures, my brother. So
Tua.
Good work.
Tua. Thank you. And to everybody in the chat, Tua, I appreciate it. Thank you for viewing my sketches, and I have more to bring, so look forward to more sketches and pictures of Komet also.
Hotep.
Yeah, Hotep, great brother. We definitely appreciate you sharing your light, and our creativity is part of our superpower, so it's very important that we express ourselves and breaking out of this matrix. So Tua to you for all your amazing illustrations. TOM.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Maat we trust, baby.
Yes, 24/7, 365 days a year. Every day, all day.
Yes, Hotep, great brother. That was fantastic. You are extremely talented, and I can tell that you practice a lot, because there's skill and there's detail. I like how you put the actual glyph, the name for Tehuti, on his arm, his real name. I really like that, and the details, the small details that you put in there, that takes it to the next level. So to our good brother for coming forward and showcasing that, because and leading with the left and being an example of, we have some very beautiful creative people here, and we definitely want to showcase you and show you off, because the creativity that exists within you, being expressed outwardly, is something that is something that needs to be echoed, and something that needs to be praised. Because within this matrix, a lot of that isn't praised. It's the matrix stuff that they raise up, but from a fellow scribe to another, to you, good brother, for coming forward and showing your work. And yes, keep at it, great brother, and looking forward to seeing what else you bring forward.
Tua, I appreciate it.
You got a lot of love out the chat too, brother. I was posting the comments. You got a lot of beautiful comments in the chat as well. So
yes, I've read in the chat, all the comments in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate it, everybody. Tua. Henu to all of you.
All right. So
Henu
yes,
to, sorry, go ahead. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Henu to Saba. Peace and love. Peace and love.
I have a question, if it's okay. Is any of your artwork for sale? Did I miss something, or did you share how people can get a hold of you if they want to buy your art, or they want you to custom make something?
Yes, I was going to explain that. Yes, Menkhu, thank you for that. If anybody wants to, purchase a picture, or they want me to draw them a picture, they could send their email to Saba, because I like to go through Saba first before anything. And they could send their pictures, and Saba could email me. He has my email. And you could buy my pictures. And yes.
Okay, excellent. So you hear it. If you want to get something done from the good brother BAJAN Pharaoh, you can email Saba Tehuti for now, and we'll see if we'll set something up. And
yes,
because he's definitely real busy, so we'll definitely see how that works, and Tua for wanting to funnel it through him. Absolutely. And look forward to getting some clients, good brother, because you're very talented.
Tua, I appreciate it.
Yes. Nini
Yeah. So you can send me, I do different sizes from 8 to 11, 16 to 24. So whatever sizes that you prefer, I could put it to that picture.
All right, absolutely. You're gonna really appreciate this this class here. Yes, absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the class.
Yes.
And to our good brother for your time for coming up here.
Yes, Annie, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on. Thank you for the opportunity. And like I said, I will definitely showcase some more of my artwork.
Beautiful. All right, Hotep.
Hotep. Handle to all you brothers. Peace and love.
Handle to you. Peace and love, great brother.
Peace and love, Asaf. Menkhu, Annie.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay. So let us get started. Let me make sure everything is set properly. Before we go in. All right, hold on. Let me turn this up just a little bit so I can hear it.
I feel a shift. I feel like a moment is happening right now. It's good to recognize these moments. That was just definitely a moment. So this energy is sweeping through. Ani is getting ready to give us what he always give us. So this is definitely a moment.
All right, got to get the tones right. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. All right, I'm ready. I have my Tehuti baboon incense burning. I have my Djed User Ankh right here with me, and we're ready to get into class. All right, let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Scribal School, Carving Reality, Sunday Sessions, the SESH Sessions. Brought into existence, Keper Ani PTAH ATEN TEHUTI SESH, the scribe. All right, so let us get going. So the reason why we know anything about the followers of Maat, Kemet, Ta Meri, Sekhem, Smatawi, ancient Egypt. These are all names for what's known as ancient Egypt, is because of the writings produced by the scribes. It is the single reason why we are able to know what the PTAH, the predecessors or the ancestors, said themselves. As many of you may know who watch our Ancient Kemetu literature series started by the great brother Atef Rimkim Maat here on the Teachings of Maat channel, and for the members of TOM who come to the Wisdom Wednesday classes, know that I always present the scribe who is responsible for the actual writing of the literature if available. It is just as important to know where the writings source from as the writings themselves. Many of you are scribes in your own right and may not even know it. Let me take you into the minds of the scribes and show you a few of our great ancestors. Welcome to Sunday Sessions Scribal School. The SESH at Sabah. the SESH at Sabah. And shout out to BAJAN Pharaoh for coming up and showing his scribal work. So what does it mean to be a scribe? Only here in the Tehuti pod class will you receive the Maat Sebayit, the true teachings. Let me ask a question to the audience. What is a job that the scribe would hold in ancient Kemet? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the chat. I want you all to tell me what would you commission a scribe for in ancient Kemet? Let's see what we have and what we know.
Roberto Reyes says record keeping. Shannon Southar says to record. Big Vape says recording events. Nafa Caparet says to create your per M Haru. Angela Gates says to record.
Okay, absolutely. Yes, the record keeper. The record keeper.
Stephen E says to write your per M Haru.
Okay. Yes, so that is absolutely true. So let's get into some details. Right? Let's get into some details. Oh, and here is a relief depicting scribes at work from the tomb of HAREMHAB, circa 1323 to 1295 BCE. And we're going to get into HAREMHAB a little bit more in this class. Okay, so yes, to record, to write your per M Haru, absolutely. Angela Gates says hit the like button. To our sister, yes, absolutely. To our for that. All right. So let me take you to the Vigus Dictionary to show many titles of the scribes, so we can actually look and see some of the titles that they hold. All right, so here we have Meher, which is a soldier scribe, right? A scout, a surveyor, or a warrior, right? Someone who is in the military, and the actual scout, the one who surveys, right, is a scribe. And we have the Iri Medat, who is the letter carrier, one who carries letters from one person to another. And then we have the SESH AN Nesu, the king's record scribe, the scribe of the king, right? The Nesut in An SESH, the royal scribe, the SESH Nesu, the royal scribe, the king's secretary or minister. And then here we have the SESH Hesbed, a scribe of accounts, right? One of who keeps accounts of things. And then here we have the SESH Dinit, who is a SESH of distribution, right? Distributing different things that we would need to send out. And then here we have what BAJAN Pharaoh is. A SESH Ked, a draughtsman, a painter, right? A SESH who is also a jar, an artist, scribe of the temple. You have a scribe who's over a temple, a scribe who's over the offerings. You have a scribe who is over administration, right? The SESH Shin. You have the SESH Sat, SESH Sait, who is the secretary, right? So these are just a few of the titles that the scribes would be given. So absolutely, record keeping is one of the main duties and main jobs of the scribe. But as you see, there are many more. There are many more parts to it, right? There's so much more to it. And there's a scribe for everything. There's a scribe for everything. So there isn't just one scribe. And you see this image depiction here of the young boys in Scribal School, right? Learning from the Saba. So this whole, and the beautiful thing, the beautiful thing about the metanetter and why it's images is because it tells a story. It literally, looking at this sentence is telling me a sentence in metanetter, and we'll get into what that is. All right, so here's just a few of some titles of the scribes. So scribes could also become government officials, priests, lawyers, doctors, architects, viziers, and even the Par-ii, who is the pharaoh. Many scribes held multiple titles and positions. This process began as a young child. Though becoming a scribe was seen as a job to strive for and one of the best jobs to have, it was an extremely difficult job, as one had to memorize thousands of glyphs and had to be exact in his mathematics. Right, so the scribe would be responsible for calculating when it comes to architecture, how many blocks would need to go in a specific place, the dimensions of it. So they were the mathematicians as well when it comes to the actual mathematics and building of the architecture. And we see how perfect and meticulous and how the mathematics always equal up to that of light and that of creation. And that's because of the scribes. You have to be extremely focused and diligent with your lessons and studies. If not, punishment was inevitable. This is why the same word for student and education is punishment, which is what? Saba. So here we have Saba, which is pupil or student. There's the same word for Sabait. The Sabait, which is chastisement, to be chastised. All right, Sabait, punishment. And Sabait, education. Right, so it wasn't there was no time at all for any playing around, any idleness, and we'll get into that as well, because that's written as a seba'it, as a teaching, as a wisdom literature to the scribes, right? And to always stay busy, to always stay in your studies. So, and even in one of the literatures, there's a writing that says, when you go out for recess after the schoolyard has closed, still study. So even after school, even after you leave and they call recess, oh, it's recess, everyone can go. You as a scribe, you have to still continue in your studies. So it is absolutely imperative because of the importance of the role that's played, right, for some of the things that I just showed up here, and for the actual passing down of the literature, to stay diligent and to stay focused on the teachings, on the lessons. And if there was any type of slack, then yes, there would be punishment. And as you see, Saba'it, you see the man with the stick. So you might just get popped with a stick, right? So, which is all in alignment with the education and the pupil and the student. So you'll also find the determinative for beating in the word for teacher, which is the same word as shown above, Saba, which right here we see teacher, tutor, Saba, with the determinative of the stick, the one who provides discipline to the students. So this is definitely something in today's time where it's just been completely lost, which is why everyone has become lazy, because there's no discipline in line. There's no repercussions for not doing what you're supposed to do, right? You can do anything. It doesn't matter. Anybody do anything, be anything, does not matter. So this this word right here creates and tells an entire story right here, Sabah, which student, teacher, education, and chastisement, right? So when you look at this, this is the word Saba all together, because you see the teacher, who is Saba, and the students, the pupils, who are also the Saba, and you see him giving them education, which is Saba, and he has that little stick right there in his hand for if discipline needs to be given. So all that is Saba. So let us read the Sabait, right? Saba. Let us read the Sabait, the written teaching to the youthful scribe concerning this exactly, and teaching a young scribe to always stay busy in studies and to not be idle. So from the 19th dynasty papyrus, ANASTASI 5:8, 1 through 9, I will be reading the translation from page 439 of Ancient Egyptian Literature by William Kelly Simpson. For future reference, if needed, I will refer to this book as AEL. And here we have 3 papyrus scrolls right here at the bottom. All right, so let's go to this papyrus here. British Museum number EA10244,3, P Anastasi V number 8. And here I have the late Egyptian miscellanies, page 59, Alan H. Gardner, to show the metanetter. So here's the hieratic, the cursive version of the metanetter. And here is the actual metanetter right here, right? So we can look at this as well. So here we go. Advice to the youthful scribe, page 439 of Ancient Egyptian Literature. O scribe, do not be idle. Do not be idle, or you shall be curbed straightway. Do not give your heart to pleasures, or you shall fail. Write with your hand, recite with your mouth, and converse with those more knowledgeable than you. Exercise the office of magistrate, and then you will find it advantageous in old age. Fortunate is a scribe skilled in his office, the possessor of a good upbringing. Persevere in action daily, and you will gain mastery over them. Right? So this is beautiful. This is teaching you to stay disciplined, to stay consistent, right? There is no time to be idle. That's what it starts off with. Do not be idle. And it says it twice. It doubles down to double, to emphasize. Do not be idle. Do not be idle. Persevere in action daily. Every single day, persevere in action, and you will gain mastery. Do not spend a day of idleness, or you shall be beaten. The youth has a back, and he hearkens to the beating of him, which is clearly saying that you don't hear, but the youth has a back, and he hearkens to the beating of him, which means his ears are on his back. His ears are on his back. So that will definitely have you sit back up straight, get right back into where you need to go, and do exactly what you need to do. Because discipline is an important part when it comes to evolving and evolution and staying on point, right? There has to be some type of something there that you have to, that keeps, it stays on your mind to make sure that you don't sit down and just be idle. You're just sitting back, whatever. Now you know, whatever, you're on your phone scrolling for hours and on social media and watching these housewives and all these shows, all these things, all this craziness that is completely programming the mind to be absolutely empty. But even here, when you're surrounded by Maat, you're surrounded by the teachings, it was still taught to not be idle, right? This is before the internet, right? Don't be idle. persevere in action daily. The youth has a back and he hearkens to the beating of him. So he hears to that. Pay attention, right? Pay attention. And that's why I always give adoration to those who give your attention to this, to the class, to the teachings, because without your attention, this could never exist. So absolutely, that's a teaching of Maat. Pay attention. Hearken to what I have said. Listen and hear what I have said. You will find it advantageous. One teaches apes to dance, and one tames horses. One can place a kite in a nest, and a falcon can be caught by the wings. Persevere in conversation. Once again, do not be idle. Write. Do not feel distaste. So here is where we have these lines where I have highlighted so we can actually look at the metanetter, right? The keperu, the at with the pesht right here, the spine, right? We see the spine right here. So absolutely. And as we continue to go, we have Sabah right here. The same word as I showed earlier, Sabah with the stick, the teaching. Absolutely. So this is definitely saying that evolution comes from that, right? And to hear the Sejem F, he hears, he hearkens to what? To the discipline. He hearkens to the discipline. All right. So now that we have that understood, let's move forward. So as in the wonderful wisdom literature states, one must also recite with the mouth. This is why memory is associated with speech, and why as scribes we record the importance of daily life here as living beings walking, as daily life, and of the afterlife, right? The duality, in recording the importance of both, right? To live a life of Ma'at here, to live a life of Ma'at in the afterlife. Through text with images about speech, right? So that's deep. That's very powerful. And why the metanetter is the way that it is, and why one of the reasons why I love it, right? Because yes, it's we record the importance of daily life and of the afterlife through text, right? It's through text with images, right? So because the image tells 1,000 words, right? And it's about speech. It's literally about speech, as we also seen here, right? Do not give your heart to pleasures, or you shall fail. Write with your hand and recite with your mouth. So to recite with your mouth, and those of us who have been to many of the classes, you know, in the PAPYRUS, a lot of the how you start what's called the chapters is what's the first word? Techeta, which means thou sayest. So it's literally writing images of writings of text about what to say. It's about sound vibration. So it's very, very powerful. So here we have Seka'u, right? Seka'u, which is documents, notes, and memos. Seka, to remember. Seka'u, documents, notes, memos. So the word for memory, which is Seka or Seka'u, right? Same words here with the ka, flower, right here, of memory, which the actual what's called the lotus, the lily, which is the symbol for upper Kemet, which is the south, is associated with memory. And I taught that in the flower of life class, and how it's actually used to help with your memory as an actual medicine, and with youthfulness, right, to help to reverse age. Seka'u, remembrance, memory, mention, memorial. And then here we have SESH with the same symbol here, the Seka, for the scribe, because that's the purpose, right? That's the point, to be able to write down for more accurate memorization. And it's very extremely powerful. So yes, you see the same two words, the root words here in the determinative for SESH right here. So when you get into the metanetter, a lot of times you'll see words pronounced differently with different glyphs. But we also want to, that's why it's so important to pay attention to the actual images, so we can keep in context of what it is that it's saying. So this is SESH, which is completely about recording and memorization. So it is the sound vibration that carved reality into existence. And this was taught by the priests and the scribes, keeping record of what the ancestors left behind, which was given to them by the Natiru. Right? So this is information that was passed down from the Natiru. And this is what the scribes said themselves. So for this, we will go to the scribe who currently owns the title author of the oldest book. As all of us, or most of us, should know in this class now, is PTAH. So here is the Pris Papyrus, Egyptian 186, which dates to about 18 to 1900 BCE. And here is PTAH right here. We're going to go to the first line here of this papyrus. The instruction of the venerable mayor and vizier, PTAH, who, once again, like I said, there's many titles. Under the majesty of the king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Isesi, living forever unto eternity. All right, so this is who we're going to go to, PTAH, one of the Tep Aui, the ancestors, the scribes who brought forth this beautiful literature for us to follow, read, and guide our walk. So here we have the maxims of PTAH. Here's PTAH in the Imhotep Museum, 5th Dynasty. Maxims of PTAH, 2375 to 2350 BCE. All right, so once again, this is to show that the ancestors taught that this was information that was passed down from the Natiru. Allow my son to stand in my place, and so I may speak to him the words of the auditors and the designs of the originators, the Hat, the ones who were first, the originators, the Natiru, the matters heard among the Natiru. So here we have it right here. This is the words of the auditors and the designs of the originators, the matters that were heard among the Natiru, that were put into effect by the first chiefs. Right? So these are words that come from that. This is what PTAH is saying. I believe what the scribes wrote down, and there is physical proof all throughout what is left behind. Let thou start with a blank slate and rise up as the feather of Shu through the words of Tehuti. So that's what we're going to do. Shu right here, which is blank papyrus. So we're going to start blank, right? Blank papyrus, and uninscribed rolls of papyri, and Shu, which also means to rise up and to lift. And here we have Tehuti giving adoration to Shu, right? Which is also known as the feather of Maat. All right. Let us continue, or excuse me, let us come back to Tehuti and continue into those who represent him, the scribes. So, of course, to get to the end goal of a fully complete project, there will be proof of practice left behind as well. So let me show you. Let me show you some of the practices to show, that this was it was gradual and there was consistent practice going on in Kemet. So here we have a writing board. Right, here's a writing board, Middle Kingdom, 1981 to 1802 BCE. The Gesoed boards were used for writing notes or school exercises, like the slate writing tablets of yesteryear. They could be used repeatedly, with old text being whitewashed to provide a clean slate for another. This board still bears traces of earlier writing at left. The main text is a wordy model letter that the student copied and surely also was expected to memorize. Once again, memory and copying, right? Which is where the much later term of scribe became to copy, because that's what you would do as a student coming up. And that's why we have literature, right? So when I show the maxims of PTAH, that ain't that actual papyrus there. PTAH didn't write that papyrus. That was another scribe wrote that papyrus, because the teachings, the Sebaid, this is what was to memorize. The scribes coming up would practice. They would write it over and over and over again. And that continued throughout the entire time that Kemet was a nation. And that is why we have any type of literature, because some literature we only have one copy of. And it's a student's rendition of something, which is why when you see the papyrus, a lot of times there'll be multiple writings on it. It won't just be one text, one Sebaid. There'll be, just like with the one I just showed with PTAH, the Pris Papyrus. Here, let me the Pris Papyrus, which, as I said, this dates to 1800 BCE, and PTAH dates to 2375 BCE, the original writings. So this papyrus here also has another teaching on it at the very beginning of it, which are the teachings of Kagimni. So you'll see that continuously throughout many of the papyri we have is multiple stories on one papyrus, because these were students practicing by writing the literature, by writing the stories to memorize and to practice the actual writings of the glyphs. And that is why we have what we have today. So Hinu to the students, to the scribes who are practicing and writing coming up, because of you, we have literature today. And so here we have the board, and as you see the student scribe in black, and you see the teacher making corrections here in the red to correct it. And see, here's some of the original writing on the board. And as I said, you could erase this and start over. So this is actually something that was written on top of whatever was on here originally, with this still remaining. So yes, the teachers, the Sabas of ancient Kemet, of Ta Meri, used corrections, used red to correct, which you still will see in schools today. All right, so let's keep moving, and I have another one for you here. Here is the writing board for an apprentice scribe, circa 2030 BCE at the Met, 5th Avenue, Gallery 109. So it is clear from the awkwardly formed hieroglyphs and their uneven spacing that this is the work of an apprentice scribe who was practicing his penmanship. The writing board could be used again and again by scraping and wiping off the ink and adding a new coat of whitewash. Another writing board in the collection shows corrections made in red ink, which is this one here. So here we have the hieratic, practicing the hieratic, the more cursive writing, and then here we have the actual metanetter, the glyphs. So you would learn both. You would learn both. Some scribes, just depending on many things, some would only learn the hieratic. Some would start off with the hieroglyphs and then start to learn the hieratic, because not every scribe learned this, because this wasn't necessary for every job of a scribe, right? So a lot of the law that's written, a lot of the events that are written, they're written in hieratic, right? So there's no and you find these that they come forth both at the same time, right? You don't see that. So with this papyrus here, you see this papyrus here, which is hieratic, which is one of the oldest papyruses we have of any type of literature, and it's in hieratic. So the metanetter and the hieratic, as far as we have access to, is dated around the same time, which again goes to show the the magic that's associated with the metanetter, and how there is no evolution process to show how this came about. It just appeared. You just here's the pyramid text, complete and full and perfect, etched in from the very beginning, right? It's like you start with the greatest. Like there is no actual progression shown to get to that, and that's because it existed before. And so here we have the hieratic and the metanetter. So being that it takes years to memorize the glyphs and to be able to write them, it is wonderful we can see the process in which a student practices. Now let me take you to a wonderful scribe general, none other than PHARAOH HAREMHAB. HAREMHAB Merin Amun, and his throne name when he ascended the throne, right? Because this was a scribe who became PHARAOH, who is the general of the military. So absolutely, and his throne name is Joser Keperu Ra, Setepen Ra, the sacred one of the manifestations of Ra, chosen of Ra. So here we have the wonderful HAREMHAB right here in the Met Museum, session number 23101, right? And here he is right here in his scribal position, in his scribal role. And if we look right here on his chest, you see the scribal palette. You see it right there, and you also see it on his back, slightly right here protruding from his back, with the scroll in his hand, right? Which also creates the the swirl, the square circle right here. So here is HAREMHAB as a scribe, circa 1336 to 1323 BCE. HAREMHAB was a royal scribe, right? The Nesu SESH and general of the army under Tutankhamun. He continued to serve during the reign of Aya, and Aya was the one who reigned after Tutankhamun. When Tutankhamun died, it was Aya who then took the throne. So HAREMHAB continued to serve during the reign of Aya and eventually succeeded Aya as king. This statue was made before HAREMHAB ascended the throne. By having himself depicted as a scribe, HAREMHAB declares himself to be among the elite group of literate individuals, thus following a tradition more than 1,000 years old of depicting great officials as men of wisdom and as men of learning. So the general who became king, HAREMHAB, is an example of a scribe reaching the highest status, Nesubiti, king of Upper and Lower Kemet. Henu to you. So what is he writing? Let us read who this scribe is writing to. Let us read who this scribe is writing to. Here in his lap is the papyrus roll. Can anyone guess what this writing is here? Who would HAREMHAB be writing to? And so let's come back to the chat and see what you all say. We have HAREMHAB as the scribe before becoming Nesubiti. And here in the statue, we have him right here with the papyrus rolled out, and his hand would be here in the position that you see the scribal statues in, which then creates the lam and meditation. Right, when you see people meditating with the lam, which is the holding of the pen. All right, so let me come back to the chat and see what is HAREMHAB writing here. Who is he writing to? All right, let's see here. Roberto Reyes says, per Mheru, with a question. All right, let's get some guesses in there. Put in the chat. If you don't know, say I don't know. Or you can guess. Guess. Who is he writing to? Let's get some participation flowing.
Angela Gates says, I don't know.
Excellent answer.
Nefa Caparet says, I don't know, to be honest.
Excellent answer. Big Vapes has the little thinking emoji. All right.
Yeah, he thinking. Sister Shannon says, could he be writing part EEIS per Mheru?
Okay.
Roberto Reyes says, writing to the future. Jason Kirkland says, maybe to himself or his children, but truly I don't know. Roberto Reyes says, writing to the future.
All right, excellent guesses. I love it. 2 out for the participation in the chat room. Let me check something really quick. Okay. All right, so let me get back to it. Okay, so what is he writing? Let us read who this scribe is writing to. All right, so we'll click that and it'll take us to the British Museum. Let me share this tab, or excuse me, the Met Museum, where this exists. Right, so this is a beautiful statue. Wonderful statue. You just see the wisdom within the statue itself. All right, so we're going to go down here to the bottom. Go down here to the bottom. You see it says overview, and it gives us the information, right? HAREMHAB as a scribe of the king, New Kingdom, Dynasty 18, reign of Tutankhamun Aya, circa 1336-323. Said to be from the Memphite region. Ptah Temple, a hole among palm trees. Okay, so a hole among palm trees. Session number 2310.1. So we're gonna go over here where it says translation. So the Met Museum has done us a solid and gave us a translation of this piece here. Wonderful. Thank you, Met Museum. So to the right, we have to the right, and then we have base to the left, and then we have the actual scroll. Okay, so we're going to read what the scroll says. Adoration to Tehuti. So that is who HAREMHAB is writing to. He is a scribe. So, of course, he will be given adoration to Tehuti, the son of Re, the moon, beautiful in emergence, lord of appearances, who illuminates the netters. By the hereditary noble, high official, fan bearer on the king's right, chief general, royal scribe, HAREMHAB, justified, saying, Hail to thee, moon, Tehuti, bull in Hermopolis, dwelling in the Hermopolitan necropolis, passer-buyer of the Netiru, the knower of secrets, establisher of their utterance, who distinguishes one report from another, who judges everyone, wise one in the bark of millions, who waits for human beings, who knows a person by his what? His utterance, who denounces an affair against its doer. He who satisfies Re, who informs the sole Lord, letting him know everything that has happened during the night when he calls from the sky at dawn, not forgetting the report of yesterday's events. Sprout of the night bark, who makes the day bark content, who stretches out his arm at the prow of the boat of pure-faced, who takes the stern rope of the day bark for him, rejoicing as the night bark rejoices on the feast of the crossing the sky, who overthrows the rebel serpent, a pep, and breaks open the western horizon, while the Ennead, the Peshtet of the Netiru in the night bark gives adoration to Tehuti, saying to him, Hail of Re, whom Re favors for what he does. The Netiru have become elated, repeating what your Ka loves. You open the way for the place of the boat. You do what is necessary against the rebel serpent, lopping off his head, shattering his ba, taking his essence into the fire. You are the netter who performs his slaughter. Nothing can be done without you, the orderly one, son of order, who came forth from her flesh, Savior Herakuti, who enters Heliopolis, wise, placemaker of the Netiru, who knows secrets and reveals matters. Let us praise Tehuti, the accurate plummet in the balance, right? Because Tehuti is who you see standing by the balance, who is the ape, the baboon, who sits on top of the balance. And a lot of the literature, it teaches how the plummet on the balance is the tongue of the scribe, which is also the heart of Tehuti. So let us praise Tehuti, the accurate plummet in the balance, who rejects disorder and accepts the one who is not inclined to transgression. The vizier who judges affairs, who resolves conflict peacefully. The scribe of the Maat. There's another title of a scribe, the scribe of the Maat, who fixes the scroll, right? Who puts together and creates the scroll, who drives off falsehood, but accepts the bearer of a healthy greeting, who supports the oath taker in the midst of the Ennead, the Pa'ut of the Netiru, who raises up the one who has been ignored, who has a wise face for one who has gone astray. He who remembers the fleeting moment, who reports the hours of the night, and whose words remain forever, who enters the Netter Kurt, the netherworld, finds out what is in it, and registers them in his list. I'll read that again. He who remembers the fleeting moment, who reports the hours of the night, and whose words remain forever, who enters into the netherworld, finds out what is in it, and then registers them in his list. James P. Allen, 2007, is who translated this. And that is what's written on his papyrus scroll right here. So absolutely, adoration to Tehuti, dua Tehuti. Tehuti is the scribe of the Netiru, the wise baboon, which is why you will find images of scribes with the baboon as a headdress, and also is the origin of the scribe's sitting position, right? The baboon. the monkey who sits by the scales, because the baboon is in the family of the monkey. And here we have statue of a scribe with a baboon in session number 29216, circa 1295 to 1070 BC. Right here, as you see the baboon as the actual headdress to replace the nemes. Right, and then you have the high priest scribe right here, as you see him writing his papyrus, another scribe, Amun Ramesses Nakat, Cairo Museum, CG 41262, with the baboon on the head. Very beautiful and powerful. Henu to Tehuti. Session number 669955 is one of my favorite statues right here. This is absolute beautiful work that has the shin of Ramesses II on the back. So this was created during his time, or at least was written in his time. Because it's another thing about whether or not the actual statues, some of these statues were created during who is inscribed on them. So that's a whole nother thing. Okay. Here we have the baboon in the tuah with the palms up, giving adoration. So now let me show you the PHARAOH, which is the house of eternity, the tomb of Nesubiti HAREMHAB, and the process of how these scribes created a wall with raised relief carving. Okay, so who all wants to see that? Who all knows the process of how that may happen? Right? The process of how the scribes created a wall with raised relief carving, right? With the carvings that protrude from the wall, right? You got the reliefs that are etched into the actual wall, and then you have the ones that protrude from it, right? And we're gonna see, and we're gonna look at that process of HAREMHAB in his PHARAOH KV 57. And right here we see HAREMHAB with Heru, and now he is a Nefer Neter, Nebu, chosen of Ra, Ankh D, given life. So here we have him in his actual Nesubiti state, inventory number 8301. All right. So here we're going to go to the J right here, the section of the J. And this is where we're going to go to look at the Book of Gates. So here we're going to see the Book of Gates. We're going to look at the Book of Gates, which it provides the 12 hours of day and night through the Neter Kert, which is very powerful. And I don't think I've seen too many teachings on the actual Book of Gates. And this will be an excellent question for Saba Tehuti, which gives the journey of the 12 hours through the Neter Kert. Very important. Okay, so here's Book of Gates, 5th division, P, 6th hour, right? This is hour 6, because it's even broken down into hours. Scene 37, towing the solar boat. So as you see them towing the solar boat, the preliminary sketch is in red with corrected figures in black. Right? So here is how it works. Right? You sketch out in red first. Right? And this is how we're able to get it so symmetric and perfect, because the way that it's set up to get to that is making sure it's trial and error. So what you originally draw, and a lot of times there would be multiple scribes working on this, and And there's proof to show that through these through creating these images for the wall, that you would have student scribes and you would have master scribes, you would have the teachers. So and this will be utilized to practice, right? So you would practice, and then the teacher, just like as it showed in the writing blocks, would come behind you and correct you and correct some of the things here. So we definitely see the red and we see the black, not all the way on top of the red. So, and here you see it right here. Here you see the red of the solar boat here, and you see it here. And then eventually the actual finished product of the black drawing is drawn here. All right. So this is very powerful to show the process of how this is created. Okay, now here we go. We're getting into a little bit more now. Books of Gates, the third gate, third division, fourth hour. Scene 18. Preliminary sketch in red, corrections in black, and partial raised relief carving. So here we also have the red and the black over top. Right, and you see throughout the glyphs. And you see here on the actual solar boat. Right, same way with it being tugged here, being towed. And now you start to see some of the actual carving taking place and being plastered over. So yes, what they would smooth down an entire wall, right? Smooth it down, plaster it down, and then start to the drawing process, right? Start the etching process of etching the actual drawings, and then going back over top of that and correcting that to make sure that everything is perfectly symmetrical and exactly where it needs to be and everything is correct before actually etching into it and then covering it up with some plaster. Here we go right here. As we see the preliminary drawings, the corrections, and we see it actually starting to begin being carved around. So this is the raised relief. So you have the drawing and then you carve what's around the drawing so that the drawing pops out. Right, and then covered up in white and plastered, and then later would be painted. And then here we have an image here with a majority of it being done. So of course you'll never see any of this because it all gets etched and covered over, right? And you see the outline. And this is how everything stays so perfect, right? Because you draw it first. You draw it first, make sure everything is in alignment the way you want it, and then you begin the etching process. So here are beautiful examples of walls being sketched, corrected, carved, and then plastered. After this process was completed, it would then be whitewashed and more scribes would come in to paint. Hinu Pa, which Pa or Pa'ut is word for ancestor, HAREMHAB. Though his perhe, his tomb wasn't able to be completed, but we're able to see the process of how they actually do some of the raised relief carvings. So Hinu to you, HAREMHAB, for this. Okay, and here we have a palette. We have a painter's palette, right? With 6 different colors in here. And some of the original colors are still in there from 1390 BCE. This is a painter's palette inscribed with name of Amenhotep III. This painter's palette was carved from a single piece of ivory. 6 oval wells contain cakes of pigments, including blue, green, brown, yellow, red, and black. The oval shin, or what they call cartouche, at one end encircles the throne name of Amenhotep III, Neb Ma'at Re, and the epithet of beloved of Re. So here you see the shin right here with the name Neb Ma'at Re. Merin. And here we have another paint box, right? A paint box of Vizier Amenemope. This isn't the Amenemope who wrote the instruction literature to Seba'it. This is another Amenemope who was a vizier and who liked to paint. So here's his paint box from 1427, 1401. New Kingdom, Dynasty 18, reign of Amenhotep II. Boxwood with inscription inlaid in Egyptian blue in Kesbet. And so you still see the actual pigment here. Wonderful. And then here we have some more painting palettes. This is in the British Museum, British Museum number EA5512, under the ruler Tahutimos the fourth, 18th dynasty. So here we see the actual ochre being right here, and how this would be grinded down and turned into a powder, right, and then placed into the holes here. So the painter would have access to that. And we see the brushes here, which are made from different types of reeds, from palm. They'll also be made from the palm tree, and tied up and used to paint. Right. So this is a scribal palette for a painter. And we still see and utilize this today in all the actual paint palettes. It's still the same exact concept. All right. Beautiful, wonderful, wonderful. To see this process of how the actual raised relief carving comes about, right? The scribes actually going in and drawing and then making corrections and then chiseling and then polishing, plastering it over, whitewashing it with the white, and then going back over it with the paint. And this is all work of these scribes. And then here we have Tehuti. Okay, I want to show this. So I want to stay right here. What is the original meaning of the word scribe? So let me come back to the class, and I want you all to tell me if you know. If you don't, that's great too, because we're here to learn. What is the original meaning of the word scribe? Without looking it up, let us know what's the actual meaning when you look up the original meaning of scribe. What does it mean? All right, let me come back to the chat room and see what you all say. What's the original meaning of the word scribe? Nefer eloquent presentation. Tua said, "Oh, I'm excited to learn." Absolutely. Peace to you, Tanya 23 experience. Peace and Anku Jaseneb to all. Anku Jaseneb to you. All right. Hinu Pa HAREMHAB. Then here we have 11. Peace to you, good brother. 11 with the sun, with Ra. All right. Bijan Farrell says, I could use those for my pictures. Beautiful. Absolutely. The number 1 million. Menkhu, is this what you're saying that the original word for scribe means?
Yes, the glyph.
Okay. Tua. Angela Gates says storyteller. Nefer Keperet says not sure. Jason Kirkland says ancient writers. Scribe is Maat. Okay, we get some wonderful answers here. Orator or educator, says Stephen E. Okay. Let me pin this. Let me pin the support links to the top of the chat. Be sure you all are supporting this class here. Sandra Shepard says to create. Okay, we got some excellent answers for this. All right. So what is the original meaning of the word scribe? All right, I like to see what everyone knows prior to me showing it. Okay, so let us continue. Let me see if there's a couple more answers. Okay, Roberto Reyes, Ma'akaru Amun Ray says to create. I was just gonna say that. You hear that, Sandra Shepard? He said he was gonna say it before you. 11 puts scholar, question mark. Okay, excellent answers. All right, so let's look at it. What is the original meaning of the word scribe? Scribe. Here's the first line, of course. Late 12th century professional interpreter of the Jewish law. So a professional interpreter of the Jewish law in the 12th century, that was a scribe. Scribe, teacher of Jewish law. Vulgate to render Greek, grammatius, corresponding to Hebrew sofer, scholar. So, okay. We see 11 had put that in the chat, scholar. So that's what it means in Hebrew. From sofer, it is a special use of Latin scribe, keeper of accounts, secretary, writer, an agent, noun, from the past participle stem of scribere, to write, from pi root scrib, to cut. So yes, the original word for scribe means to cut. So I hope you all are starting to see the connection of what it means to be a scribe, and why it's more than what is commonly known as just ones who just write. Right? So scribe means to cut. That's right. Shannon, hands up, book closed. Like Saba says in class. Hands up, heads up, book closed. All right. Scribe means to cut. Right? So here we have Tim. Tim, which means to cut, to engrave, to inscribe. So the meta word to inscribe, to engrave something, is Tim. And then here we have Timut, which is the palindrome, which is the forward and reverse, the same as we have Tim, and then we have Met. Tim, Met, which means what? Writings, documents, and inscriptions. So the same words create to cut and to write, right? Because scribe means to write and it means to cut in its original form. So of course, this would be taken and put into and transferred into other languages, and then later becomes Jewish law. But the original meaning, of course, is to cut, to write, because that's what the metanetter taught, right? Timmy, to cut, to engrave, timut, to write, and timmy, which means whole, the entire thing, to be complete. So it's the complete process, right, of putting together, right, the actual drawing, the inscriptions of the writing, the cutting, right, to make it complete, right? That's Tim. Utilizing the process to write and cut is what assisted one in becoming complete. Carved stone, drawings, and written papyri are where the instructions to become complete and healthy are established, because that's what these writings are, right? So even this right here, with this being the Book of Gates, and showing the solar boat and traversing through the different hours of the Neter Kurt, right? These are instructions. These are guides to help guide you to become complete and to become whole, to gather yourself together in the Neter Kurt, right? So the actual putting together, the physical putting together of the drawing and cutting is Tim, to become complete Tim. And it is the written papyri, the carved stone and the drawings are where the instructions are to become complete, to become healthy, and are established, collecting the parts of you scattered into one whole, as Nepti did for Asar, as Nepti, which is the name for the two ladies, Aset and Neptet. And so, yes, absolutely, they gathered Asar's parts and to put him back together, to have him whole again, to put him back into a state of Tim. And whole and healthy is the same word. So if you look it up in etymology, healthy goes back to the word whole, and it means to actually be whole, to be complete. So here we have Tim rejoined, a Neter who rejoined the members of the dead, right? Collected the members, who collected the members to allow you to be complete again. And then here we have Thema, which is also the word for seat or throne or scribe of the throne, right? And if you see this glyph right here in the Thema with the shin, right here, the shin of the eternal life, that which is what a king's name goes into, to represent eternity, eternal life, to represent royalty, with the Tim, with the two arms crossed, to be complete, right? The crook and the flail, what you see a star holding, and it up against his chest in the X position. This is called the Tim. This is to be complete. And this is also a title of a name for a seat and a throne, a scribe of the throne right here. Shesh Thema. And Themes, to write, to make marks, to paint colored pictures. Again, as I showed up here, writing, document, inscriptions, Tim, Them, it's the same word. To be of various colors, to be striped, Themes. And then variation right here, Temes, right? And I have it right here, Timsu. So it was say, hey, it's not the same word. It's the same word. Themes, Timsu, or Temes, right here. Brightly colored paintings, right? To paint colored pictures. Tim, to die, to perish, to end, death, right? Which is what happens to allow you to go into the Neter Kurt, so that you can become Tim, to become complete. Themes, writing board, inscribed tablet. So Tim is to write, to inscribe, to documents, to cut, because that's what scribe means. Scribe means to cut. It means to write, it means to cut, from scribe. The writing board, and it means to paint. And then therefore becomes the seat, becomes the throne, which is where you're complete, which is where you sit when you're complete and you're in the Tim position of the two arms crossing in an X position. This is why you will find the words for papyrus and chisel are the same, because this concept of scribe means to cut originated with the Shemsu Maat, which Shemsu means follower. So of course, this concept of scribe, meaning to cut and to write, and much more, as I just showed, originated with the Shemsu Ma'at. And then here is a word, papyrus plant, which is menhech, and then menkeh, which is chisel. So here we have the papyrus plant and the chisel with the same root word, menhech, menkeh, papyrus plant and chisel. So you're going to find the duality of those two, which is why the word scribe is a duality of to write and to cut, because that comes from the teachings of the Shemsu Ma'at, the followers of Ma'at, because that's what's necessary to become complete, right? Carving reality, right? We're carving our reality with our speech and with what we write. as PTAH teaches. From the root word men, which means to be firm, established, enduring, of king, which then creates the word existence. Existence comes from the word sta, which means to be firm, which is men, which is what's used to assist in that, the papyrus plant and the chisel, right? Used by the scribes. Absolutely powerful. So there you have the original word for scribe, what it means and why it means that, why it means to cut. First, before it meant to write. Because PTAH, we'll get in. Well, that's the whole nother thing. But yes, carving through speech was first before carving through writing. And here we have two more words: papyrus roll and chisel. Just like men, papyrus roll and chisel. Here we have mejet. Mejet. The two words are the same. Why? Because they work together. They work together to allow you to be complete. So that's why the sound vibration that creates the meaning for these words are the same. It's powerful. Papyrus roll and chisel right here. Mechet. Papyrus roll, book. The title of a text to read aloud. The netter, the SESH medet, right? The scribe, a letter dispatch. Here's the iri medet, letter carrier. And then we just have the papyrus scroll here with the bread loaf and with the line under the papyrus scroll to let you know it's literally talking about that. And with the chisel here. So here is another word connecting papyrus and chisel. It's the word mejet. The depth of the medu is astounding. As above, so below. This is why I love, there's so many reasons why I love the Medu Netter and the followers of Maat and Kemet, and the duality, right? The duality that exists. And this is why when I write, when I'm creating my tones and I'm writing my music, everything that I say is at least a double. Everything. And that's because I echo our ancestors, because everything they said was at least a double. So sometimes you may get a triple, sometimes you may get a quadruple. And just like the teachings and lessons, you'll go back and you'll learn something new every time. And that's how I write. So every line I say has at least two meanings. So if you're listening to my music and you hear a line and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's another meaning in that same exact line. And that's because of this. When going into the studies and I see how everything that they did was at least the double. And why the as above, so below principle came about. It's just so fascinating and so powerful that allows you to see beyond this false matrix that's been created for us, and of course eliminates the focus, but allows you to have the ma'ah, which is the word to see behind the veil, because there's too much information to be idle. There's too much information to learn to be idle. There's too much information to be talking about one subject consistently all the time. There's just too much to learn. There's too much to take in, and we don't have time for that, especially in this matrix, which the matrix is completely created to remove you and to take away your time to be able to study and focus and follow on the things that's necessary for when it's your time to transition, so that you can become Tim. How are you going to become Tim if you're already scattered everywhere here, just living in the physical? Your thoughts are here. People always say, I have ADHD. I can't, my attention span isn't that long. I can't sit down for too long and pay attention to something. Well, that's because of how this matrix has created everything around us to keep us from being able to focus on certain things for longer than a minute. So there is no time to be idle. There is no time to play any games when it comes to our whether or not we want to be complete, whether or not we want to be a complete being and have full control and consciousness of our mind, of our ka, of our ba, when it's time to leave this physical body for the last time, and utilize and practice to get to that point, right? So yes, Mejet, which is papyrus roll and chisel. The depth of the meta netter is astounding. Why? Because Mejet is also depth, because it's deep. It's depth. The Meju, which is deep, from the Dream Book, deep. Mejet, depth, which is brought forth through your speech, which is why it is said that your words can cut deep. This is beautiful. And why in the lesson to the youthful scribe, where it says write and recite, write and recite. So yes, this is why your words can cut deep, because it's literally about carving. You can carve into someone with your words, because your words literally carve this reality. And our ancestors showed this as a below principle, as physically carving into the walls and all the beautiful carvings that exist to tell a story and to leave guidance of as what HAREMHAB said in his papyrus on his statue, where Tehuti goes into the Netzer Kurt, documents on his list, and comes back and gives it to us. It's deep. It's Mejet. Who has time to argue? And then here is the Mejet right here. Speech, words. Because it's your words that create the actual depth, the carvings, right? And then gets translated through writing, through the papyrus, which is also Mejet. Right here, Mejet, speech, words, which creates the Medut, Neter, right? Speech, words, talk, legal plea, written word, the written word, content of letter, matter, affair, proverb, and Majut. Some may say, well, one word has a hand and the other has a serpent, right? Because here we have Majut, Majet with the serpent here, the bread loaf, and then we have the what's said is the walking stick, or a flame with the hand. So one may say one word has a hand and the other has a serpent, one being ch or j and the other being d, the letter D, right? With this D. This isn't the same word, Ani Pata. Well, our ancestors overstood the sound vibrational science before writing it. What happens when you put the hand and the serpent together, right? Because we're talking about speech. What happens when you put the hand and the serpent together? When you put these two together, the Mejet with the serpent, the bread loaf, the hand, and this stick here. What happens when you put those words together? What word does that create? The Jed, which is say, to speak, right? The same thing as what the actual papyrus, the Per Haru is, right? It's a text of images about the spoken word, right? Thou sayest, the Cheta, the serpent of eternity, with the hand, the Jed, to say, to speak, to utter speech, to recite a spell, which a spell is the spell, if you look at etymology, just goes back to recitation. It just goes back to speech, to speak. Right? So here we have the Jed, which also means the Djed column, which is the spine, the jed, which is also stable and enduring. So the same word, the jed, to speak, is the same word for the jed, which is stable and enduring, your spine. So very powerful information right here. Sound vibration carving reality, right? That's exactly what this is. Sound vibration carving reality, right? The chisel and papyrus roll, the medjet, because the T just makes the word feminine. The medjet, the depth, to cut deep. It's medj, the root word medj is medjes, also creates the word knife. So the medjes is the word knife. So medjet is depth, and medjet is also chisel, and medjet is also your words, because that's what you're using, and which is why when you speak to someone, you can definitely cut deep. And then we have the jed and the jed, the stableness, the enduring through the speech, which also comes from what word? What word also means to be stable and enduring? Let's see who knows before I go back down, because we let's see who caught that. What word did I show that means stable and enduring? What word also means enduring in the meta netter that I showed also creates the word papyrus and chisel? Let me come back to the chat here. Does anyone remember what the meta netter word for enduring is that I just showed? All right. Okay. Here we go. Shannon Southers says men. Nefer Keperet says men. So yes. Roberto Reyes says don't know. Awesome. So yes, the ladies are on it. It is men. Let us look at the word for the scribal palette, which comes from the same root word as papyrus and chisel, meaning enduring. Men. Absolutely. Men means to be firm, to be established, enduring. So once again, you'll see papyrus, chisel, to be firm. Papyrus, chisel, existence. Papyrus, chisel, establishment. This is our ancestors, Hindu to the Pa'ut to the Tep Aui. They were so advanced. They were so on point. And everything is absolutely connected, because anybody can just start making up words, right? Hey, this word is this, and here's this word, it means that. But to be able to create a language of images to tell the story that has a sound to it, where the sounds tell the story itself, where you can use one sound and make a complete sentence out of one sound and have it make sense here in Menk, and then also turn around and have it make sense here in the Jet, it's just not, there's nothing that you can compare this to. There's nothing on this planet that you can compare this to be able to say it. And this is why one of the reasons why I love the meta netter, and I utilize this in my teachings all the time. And I did it right here. When I'll create an English sentence to go along with the meta netter that's actually being said. So when I said it's the word medjet, the depth of the meta netter is astounding, because depth is medut, and that's beautiful. I can take one word in the meta netter and create an entire sentence and have it make sense and tell a story. Where like who Hindu, just Hindu. Adoration and reciprocity. All right, so yes, let us look at the word for the scribal palette now. So we're going to go to the scribal palette, which comes from the same root word as papyrus and chisel, meaning enduring, men. So now we're going to look at the scribal palette. from the same root word min, menhej, the scribal's palette. And then here you see the hand and the serpent, the menhed and the menhej, showing that this is the same word that you can utilize the sound vibration da, ta, ja interchangeably, because it creates the same meanings. Mehej, mehed, the scribal palette. And if you look right here on this palette here, on this menhej, you see right here where the ochre goes, the red and black ochre, it's a shin ring. It's a shin ring right here. So you're putting the ink inside a symbol of eternal life, and then taking the ink and putting it on a papyrus reed, coming from a reed, and then taking that and putting it on the papyrus paper, the menhej, and writing about eternal life. And that's just that. That ain't getting into what the name of the colors is. The black, which is Kim, which goes back to the Tim, to be complete. From every single moment that you utilize is connected to a story, and is teaching about light and teaching about eternity, just from taking the actual ochre, grinding it down, right, with the symbol that Saba taught about in the last pod class of the what later became the Celtic cross, and was originally one of the symbols for Avenger. Is a grinder, to grind that into the powder, which the powders have their own metanetter names. You put them inside the shin ring of the men, that which is used to establish, to bring into existence, and to take that, put that on paper, and to write about eternal life. It's just beautiful. I hope y'all are appreciating this information as much as I love putting it together for you all. I put this, I have to stop. I have to slow myself down when putting together these presentations for you all, because of that meticulousness, I would have in my head how I made that connection, and by studying the metanetter and to be able to have that tell a story, I would want to show that. But that would take this presentation to 80 hours to show every single thing. So you choose in these presentations what to show, and I've actually cut my presentations in half, because the reciprocity wasn't equaling out to what I was presenting. So I actually cut them in half, and you're still getting all this. So where now I have 6 layers in my presentation, when prior I had 11, and I did that 11 on purpose to create the duality. But I had to cut that in half, and you're still getting all this. So I hope y'all appreciate this information. The scribal palette is one of the main tools you will always see as a scribe, with which creates the writings of becoming light speed, right? About becoming light, about becoming a light body. You hear that all today in today's terms. Hey, you got a light body. And people will say, hey, yeah, that's the Merkaba. And not knowing that these are metanetter words, and originating with the metanetter, the Mer, the two Mers, the 2 pyramids, the Ka and the Ba, right? You put those together, it creates the Ku, which is light. Okay, so let's go to the Per Im Haru. Behold, I collect. And then here we have the word tempt. Tempti, which also means to carve, which also means to write. Behold, I collect. Tempti, heka'u, charm, or words of power. Magical words, heka'u. Pin, behold, I collect charm, this from every place where it is, from the person with whom it is, quicker than greyhounds, fleeter than light. Hellbringer of the boat. So yes, quicker than greyhounds. The word for greyhounds here is thesem. Thesem. And thesem also creates the word for knot, to tie something together. And it's also a name of some those who would use knots for magical purposes. Thesin, and Thes also then creates the 7 magical knots, which is connected to the spines, the 7 chakra points, and it comes from Thesem here, which is greyhound, which is what you want to be fast as, because it's the fastest dog that is here, is the greyhound. It's the fastest dog, so you want to be quicker than greyhounds. Thesem, and fleeter right here with the ka, which is the memory flower. Fleeter than light. So yes, to move fast as light, the speed of light. Hellbringer of the boat. So quicker than greyhounds, which is one of the titles for a senior or master scribe. And here's the another word for the scribe's palette, which is gesti. Gesti. And gesti, which also means speed. So the same word for scribal palette also means speed, right? Because that's literally what you are to become the speed of light, which is why the Aku is built in the measurement of the speed of light, facing north, which comes out to the same number as the speed of light. Quicker than greyhounds, which is one of the titles for the senior or master scribe, which is Sab. Sab, dignitary or unknown rank, prefix to titles equals senior. And then here you have Sab Sesh. Sab with the greyhound right here. So the scribe also becomes the Sab. When he reaches status of master, he becomes the Sab. Sab scribe, priest of the Ka. And then here you see it here. This is then the Pertacheta, which means the house of eternal life, house of eternity, which is the word for, or means the word mastaba, what they call mastabas today, or tombs. It's the Pertacheta because it's the house of eternity, because this is all about eternal life. Why they have to take away these words and create tomb, and no, this is the Pertacheta, because this is where my Kat rests and where all 9 aspects of my being come into one, and I become a Ku, and I become eternal, right, through these teachings. But no, you're just laying in the tomb, in a grave, in a coffin, 6 feet underground. So yes, here's the Sab Sesh, right, with the Ka arms pointing down over top of this. So Himka, which this is the word Himka, which means soul priest, or priest of the Ka, which Ka is not just soul. Ka is your actual energetic double, and everything has a Ka. So when you go into the double realm, when you go into what's known as the astral realm or the real time zone, you see everything. There may be slight differences, but everything has a Ka. Everything has an energy that exists prior to the actual physical existence, and that's not what soul is. But that's just all they have to translate it into. So yes, this is the priest of the Ka in the Neter Kurt, right? So here are actual priests of the Ka titled Sab Sesh. That's in the Neter Kurt. And this is Mastaba D64 of Akhet Hotep and Ptah Hotep II, who is Akhet Hotep, and Ptah Hotep II is the son and grandson of who? Ptah Hotep. Akhet Hotep is Ptah Hotep's son. Ptah Hotep II is his grandson. And that's where you'll find those images that I just showed of the SESH, the master scribe, who is also the priest of the Ka. So yes, to become fast as a greyhound, fleeter than light. So let me take this phrase even deeper, even medet. Mejet, we're going to go even deeper. Quicker than greyhounds, fleeter than light. What's this word for light? Shuit. Light. And let me come back to the chat room, and let me ask, what else? This word for light is a powerful word that connects right back to the scribes. Does anyone remember what else this word means? And I showed it earlier in my presentation almost at the top of the presentation. Shuit. You see the feather and the quail chick and the two reed leaves, the bread loaf, and the determinative for the sun to let you know it's talking about light here. So shui. What else does that word mean that I have showed in this presentation so far? Okay, let me come back here and let me see. Let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. Let me take me a water break. All right. Let's go. What else does that word mean? Shoo it. That I showed earlier in the presentation. Angela Gates says our ancestors were deep and intentional in every aspect. Yes, they were. Completely agree with that. Yes, I attest to that. Fire flames. Yes, I need to be on PHARAOH overdrive.
Roberto Reyes says shoe. Angela Gates said, I'm not sure of the spelling, but is it shoe?
Yes, it's shoe. What does that word mean though in English? So here we have shuit, which is light. So when we look up the word shoe, when I showed it earlier, what did that word mean?
I'm not going to tell him, Ani.
Good.
Roberto Reyes says breath of life, breath of light. Shannon says air.
I don't think I showed that. Did I show air?
No. Showed the feather.
Okay.
You showed it, though. You definitely showed it. Angela Gates said, I thought it meant light. You definitely showed it.
Yes.
He says science. Stephen E says wind.
Okay. I love how this works. I see how the students talking about connect things. Yes, shoe does mean wind, but I showed the word. Earlier in my presentation.
Tehuti was there.
There's two meanings that I showed, and it was not air. I never showed shoe meaning air, but shoe does mean air. Excellent job, everybody, for that. So yes, shoe does mean air, but I didn't show that.
You know what? It was new though, because I learned that when you showed it. I was like, oh snap. I was like, wow. Yes.
All right. So to everyone for the participation.
Says air. BJ and Pharaoh says air. Roberto Reyes says breathing.
Okay. Yes.
All of those
All
things.
right. So, absolutely. So
Now I bet you're not gonna forget again. Once he shows you this, you're not gonna forget. You'll never forget it again.
Absolutely. So yes.
Right, you
Let me
did.
go back to
Okay, Shannon says you're right. You didn't show air.
the yes. All right. So let me go back to it.
Menkhu, you remember what it was, Menkhu?
I don't remember.
Oh man, Roberto Reyes says I got distracted by this ISFET out here.
Yes. 2 off for your Maat. Your honesty. All right. Tell them what it was, Atef.
Blank papyrus. It's a blank piece of paper, blank uninscribed papyrus.
Boom, 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 boom. Take notes. Yeah. Shu means the blank papyrus. So yes, shu it. Shu right here is light, which is also the same word for blank papyrus, and to rise, to lift up. To rise, to lift up. So yes, now you all know that when you have a blank piece, when you have a blank piece of papyrus, right? This is shu, right? This is shu, which yes, you can use it to create air. It's light as a feather like shu, and it's clear, right? It's an empty piece. This is shu, and it means to rise, to lift up. So you all have new meanings and new teachings on shu, which everyone here should know is known as the feather of Ma'at, that which you weigh your eve against, right? So we always keep that in mind. So yes, shu, which is a word of duality. So here you have shuit, which is light, but this is a word of duality. It's a double. Shu, which also means sunlight and shadow, the shade, which is one of the 9 aspects. One of the 9 aspects of eternal life. And so it's shuit and kaibit. And I showed this in my class, the 9 aspects of eternal life. I split it up into 2 sections. And the shadow part of yourself is called kaibit, and it's also called the shuit, which also creates the sun and sunlight, because the sunlight creates the shade. So it's a duality word. So which is why when you see this right up here, you see fleeter than shu, fleeter than light. Which is why when you see the ba, you'll see shu it right next to it, right? The shade, the shadow, shade as part of man's personality, spirit of God, right? And the ba, which is a representation of light too, because how you spell ba is with an incense with a flame coming up, right? So that's the ba, which is a light flame. So of course, with the light flame, there's going to be a shadow. Shu is to be empty, right? It means to be empty, to rid yourself of negativity so you can fly, right? To rid yourself of any baggage, get rid of the baggage so that you can become light, so that you can become fly, so that you can fly. With light comes a shadow. This is why an empty papyrus, which is used to keep record of how to become light, is called shu, blank papyrus. That which is used to write down the teachings of eternal life and light. To teach about also the shadow sides as well. To teach about the isfet and the light. You start with a blank piece. So yes, there we go. Shu. blank papyrus. Papyrus is one of the reasons why we have literature today, and is only possible because the scribes would practice and learn to write by copying from previous literature. As I showed in my Flower of Life class, the papyrus is one of the plants of life utilized as a symbol for Lower Kemet, which is the word Mahet. Mahet with the papyrus plant here. Papyrus plant, clump of papyri, which is the word Menkhu. The Menkhu, which is Lower Kemet. Variations with, of course, the papyrus plant here. Lower Egyptian. That's why the Upper Egypt or Upper Kemet is a symbol of the water lily, the Seshin. And the Lower Kemet is Menkhu, which is the Mahit, which is the papyrus plant. It is a symbol of giving eternal life and light, which is why the same word for papyrus is the same word to give provisions. Right? The same word for papyrus is the same word to give provisions. D, which to give, RD, which the hand and the pyramid or the bread loaf in the shape of a pyramid. And it's also could be something else that I'm about to show. D, which means give, and also means provisions, right? To give provisions, to provide that which is that you need for sustenance so that you can continue to live. And here is part of the papyrus, which is the same symbol here of the triangle, right? The triangle is a part of the papyrus plant. And be sure to let you know this is not the word sert or seert or seret, which means thorn. Nope, this is part of the papyrus plant. Deet, papyrus plant. So of course, just add the T, add the makes it a feminine word, right? To give provisions or to give papyrus plant, right here. Deet, papyrus stem, a marsh, the stem of the papyrus, the jit, same thing right here, right? The hand and the serpent, as I showed earlier, the hand and the serpent can be utilized interchangeably. The jet, which is papyrus stem, and the jet, which is eternity. The jeta, eternity, eternal life, eternal light, to give provisions, to give eternal light, to give that which is provided for sustenance, right? With the serpent and the bread loaf and the symbol for land, the chet and the jet, which also creates the word for speech and spine. The scribes of Seketi, which is another word for Upper and Lower Egypt. So there's more words. I love to provide the metanetter for the names of the land that we call them. And it's more than just Kemet. So Seketi or Sekemti. The scribes of Seketi were the originators of what became known around the planet as meditation. You can visit my previous class, The Origins of Meditation, for a full class on this teaching. Meditation is a technique used to receive light information and to collect thoughts. Where does this concept come from? Well, let us take a look at Seshet, one of Tehuti's Himtis, or Hemet, which is the word for wife. And if you watched Saba Tehuti's class on on Friday, you know why we don't want to use the term wife when referring to our mates. So here is Seshet. Here is Seshet. Here we see the Natert scribing while holding two objects in her left hand. right here. One is the Scribal palette, right? And we see her literally drawing the glyphs on the wall. And here holding this staff here in the papyrus, excuse me, the Scribal palette, which is called the Mendet, with the shin rings where the ochre goes. And then here is the plant that you put your reeds in. Does anyone have any idea what the long staff is? Does anyone have any idea? Has anyone ever seen or heard anyone talk about this staff that she's holding? Let me know in the chat room if you've ever heard or even noticed this. Have everyone ever noticed this staff that she's holding? Let me know. I want to know before I teach this, to see who knows what, because I know I have never seen anyone online teach about what this is, what it means, why is it there, or even the fact that she's holding it. Does anyone have any idea what the long staff is?
Roberto Reyes says the power scepter.
The power scepter. Okay, well, the power scepter would be the Sekim, right? The Sekim, which, you know, is one of the names of Kemet, but that's the Sekim. When you're talking about the power scepter, yeah, that's the Sekim. So if you look up top here, you see it kind of like curved up here. Yeah, I actually think
I've never noticed it. Shannon says Shachette's counting staff ruler. Chandra Shepard says looks like a lantern. Nefa Keparet says no, I've never heard about this staff. Big Vape says spinal cord.
We got some creative, excellent people in the chat. I love it. I love it because it's making you think outside and see an image and connect it to something that what it looks like. That is excellent. I love that. All right. All right. So let's see. Yes, here is Sachette carrying the Ankhs and holding this staff here and drawing it.
One says, I don't know. Roberta Reyes says a serpent. Shannon says some kind of ruler to count grain and goods.
Okay.
Bajan Pharaoh says, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So we're actually very close. One of you is very close to what this is. So yes, here is the Neteret, Sachette, right? Usir, which this could be a sign, a symbol for power or contentment. Here's the Usir, the Ankh, of course, the Seneb, and here is the D, which I just showed, which means to give, and also means provisions, right? To give health, life, and power or contentment. Right, and here we have Septepen, Usur, Ma'at Ra, Septepen Ra, Ra Meses II, and Sachette here etching into this staff here. Okay, so we have some excellent guesses. I love how you all are using creative thinking to because you have to do that with the metanetter, because you can actually do that with the metanetter. It's important to make sure to verify it, but a lot of the glyphs, a lot of the symbols are more than one thing. Like when you're looking at it, it literally creates more than one thing. Just like when you see the Nemez and you see that with the tail going down, and then I show the image of the baboon, which creates that same image with the tail going down. So a lot of these images can be interchanged with each other. So I'm happy to see that that here in this class we're able to utilize that type of thought to be creative. So excellent job, everyone. Okay, let me show you for the very first time and give the only teaching you will find online of the teachings of the ancestors of yesteryear concerning this staff, in which you will also find Tehuti holding. Has anyone ever seen Tehuti holding that? Has anyone ever seen or noticed or paid attention to Tehuti holding and doing the same thing as Sechet? All right, here's him holding it. Here's him drawing it into the wall. So yes, here's Tehuti and Sechet doing the same thing, drawing this staff. So let's learn what this is. Let's learn what this is. I've been excited to give this to you all because this is a very powerful teaching, and you won't find this anywhere. So when we go to the Middle Egyptian language and culture of hieroglyphs, we see here, this right here is a rib of a palm branch. Okay, so when you see this, it is an actual rib of a palm branch, and it is being used to, yes, count. Absolutely. So Shannon was right in that aspect for it being used to count something, and it's used to count what? Ideogram for Renpet year, and Renpet Hesbed, which is a regnal year, determinative, and Renpi, which means young, right? To become young again. So the same word for year creates the word for the determinative for young, right? Determinative time and tree, time and season. When doubled, ideogram for Senef, which is last year. Renpet. So this is absolutely a palm branch that represents time. It is a branch that represents time, and utilizing the etches to represent length of a specific amount of time. And here we see Dejeta, and as you, let me go back to this Sechet. And so as we see Sechet here writing, and you see the shins right next to it, writing with the shins right next to it, giving the king long reign, right? To give those long life. And it's used to, of course, create that and to be a representation of that. And there are images of Tehuti. Actually, it's being shown in Temple of Ramesses. It's being shown that him creating it as he's being etched in. You see the little pieces, the little ribs on the side being etched to be created. And let me see if I can. Give me just 1 second. Let's see if I can download this real quick. Should take me just a second here, because I do want to show that. Because there's so much that I did not put into this presentation. This is maybe, I don't know, 40% of what I have to for the actual Scribal School session. So let me share this tab too. Okay, there we go. So here we have, right, Usar Ma'at Ra Tepen Ra Nesubiti, Ramesses II. And here's a beautiful depiction of Ptah and Sekem Met. And here you see the word D right here with the loaf right here, D, to give. And then here you see Tehuti right here with the actual Renpet, right? D in neck, the Tim, the Timu, to be complete, the Cheta, forever. And here you see him actually creating the etches on the Renpet. And then here you have this symbol here, which is a representation of the Hebet, the principle. Let me see if I have it here. The Hesbed, the regnal year, but it ain't an image of it. But yeah, so this is a staff of time. It represents time. So yes, Tehuti and Seshet are Natiru of time as well, and they are the ones who create, and which goes again. And as you see in the actual walls, carving into the wall, they're carving time into the wall, right? So, and Tehuti, of course, being a representation of the moon, which also represents time, because that's how we track time through the lunar cycle, through the lunar cycles of the moon, which is associated with the woman's cycle. So yes, Tehuti is also associated with time, right? So it's very powerful. So this is a red palm branch, Renpet. So Tehuti and Seshet were the ones who carved your time into reality, given one life of eternity. Let us look at the bottom of the staff. Did anyone notice on the bottom of the staff? Here we go again with another image of him etching this time in for Usar Ma'at Ra Tepen Ra. And let us look at the bottom. What's on the bottom of these staffs? What time is coming forth from what? What's these symbols? He, which is 1,000,000. Right? You see He right here, 1,000,000, a great number, infinite. And then you have Hefen, which is 100,000, a great quantity that's sitting on top of the Shin. That's sitting on top of the Shin ring, which is a symbol for eternity, right? That is what this name is in. It's in this right here. And this represents eternal life. So yes, it's time being brought forth and created from eternity, from an infinite amount of number, from 100,000 on top of eternal life, a 1,000,000, a great number, life being created and etched into reality by Tehuti and Seshet. And Seshet comes from the word for scribe, which is SESH. Just add the T at the end, it becomes Seshet. Very, very powerful. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit, get this whole thing in there. Okay, so the palm branch, stripped of its leaves and notched to serve as a tally. So absolutely, Shannon Souther was on point with using it as something to keep track of something, and it's meant to keep track of time. And notched to serve as a tally was a metanetter sign for year. And the Natiru were believed to present the reed, usually accompanied by either the sign for 100,000, as I just showed, or multiple jubilee signs. To the king, as a promise of a long reign. Such presentations usually occurred in connection with birth, coronation-like ceremonies, or Heb-Sed festivals. Jubilees traditionally celebrated after 30 years of rule. The palm tree then, of course, becomes a word that is often used in today's spiritual communities, right? So the palm tree, right, which is where this comes from. It's a palm branch from the palm tree. And here is the meta word for palm tree, which is a'am. A'am, which also is known as the a'am ankh, the tree of life, right? So this is the tree of life, the palm branch. Why? Because the life, this whole entire class was literally about eternal life and light. But the palm branch of the A'am is literally used to represent time, So yes, it becomes the tree of life. And as we see this image here, A'am, palm tree, A'am, light rays and beams. So the tree of life that brings light rays, right, to give you eternal life, as Tehuti etches the year for you. And here in the tomb, a Pashidu mural painting of man praying behind a date alm tree, 19th dynasty. And here he is right here behind the palm tree. Here are some palm trees here, right? And dates, the date tree, this is a whole nother, the whole, what's the meta word for date, right? And then going into that, but this class will be forever, so I didn't put that in here. But dates are absolutely used for so many powerful things, especially health-wise and youth-wise. It can be used as it raises the antioxidants to help skin repair, right? Which is anti-wrinkle serum. So once again, being associated with Renpet, which Renpet is the staff, the rib staff of the palm tree, which Renpet is also the determinative for the youth, right? To be young. So that's also what the date also does. And it's good to stabilize blood sugar, helps to promote bowel movements, right? To help with constipation. Dates, very good, very good to take. All right, so what does the word palm originally connect to? Right, the palm tree. So why is it called the palm tree? Let me ask, does anyone know why it's called the palm tree? Let's see. Let me come back here. Let me come back to the beautiful chat. Uh-oh. See, I love when this happens. Okay. Angela Gates says, so creating time. Robert Williams, peace. Hotep and peace to the Natiru. I got to catch the replay. Yes, to our good brother Shannon put, wow. Roberto Reyes, Menkhu called it out. Lit London, peace. Hotep lit London. Roberto Reyes says, I'm in Palm Beach. Excellent. And then he also says, time in the palm of your hands. I like that. Angela Gates says, I eat dates all the time. Roberto Reyes says, our palms. All right. LA, here we come with palm trees. Let's see. I don't know, but excited to learn. Absolutely. I don't know that one. Okay. Palm trees. Hands raising up as the palm trees does, and our light. Okay, see, this is what I love. I love this. Looks like the palm of your hand. Bijan Farrell put axes. Angela Gate, I don't know why it's called a palm tree. Okay. So Roberto Reyes was the first one to put it. Jason Kirtland put it too. Or hands raising up as the palm tree does. It's kind of close. Robert Williams says, look like the palm of your hand. Exactly. Right. Palm, tropical tree of the order Palmae. Date palm. Middle English palmae from Old English palma, Old French palmy, both from Latin palma, palm tree, originally palm of the hand. The tree so called from the shape of its leaves like fingers on a hand. See palm. So yes, the palm tree is called the palm tree originally because of the palm of the hand, and it's like fingers on the hand. And like Roberto Reyes said, yes, the palm tree, which is grasped and held into the palm of the hand. Absolutely. And which this tree here is what? It's called palm tree. And guess what the word is to close the hand? Guess what the word is to close the hand? The word to close the hand is the same as palm tree. Palm. It's The word to close the hand is And it also means to know, and it also means to see, right? Because you have the open hand, right? And then you close it. So it means to know something, right? It means to know something, and it means to see something, and it creates the same word, palm. Creates palm tree. So a closed palm is the same thing, and it means to know. So yes, the actual palm tree comes from the word palm because it looks like a hand. And this is what the Natero would hold and grasp in their palms. The they would which means they would grasp the palm tree. They would because they're what? Knowledge. That's who Tehuti and Seshet, they're scribes. So they're the Natero of knowledge and wisdom. So also means to know. And because the vowel can be before or after the consonantal sound, so it could be or ma. So also means to see, because ma or ma'a, which is see. So yes, the palm of the hand is where the name of the palm tree comes from in the English. Now, what is the metanetter word for palm of the hand? Seshep. Seshep, palm of the hand. The word seshet means palm of the hand. What else does this word mean? What else does this word mean, seshet? Yeah, let me ask that because some of you may know this, especially if you're in the metanetter class. If you look at this word, right? Look at the metanetter, seshet. So if you don't remember what the actual sound of the word is, you can look at the metanetter and it should give you an idea as well to teach you. So sheshep, does anyone know what else sheshep means? And it's all throughout the Purim Haru, and we've gone over it in the metanetter class. So I love the participation. I love the a lot of you are on point. All right, as I'm waiting on some answers to come in, be sure everyone, if you're appreciating this class, if you're appreciating what I'm bringing forth and you're learning something new and you find these teachings valuable, please send Cash App or PayPal to Teachings of Maat. to show your support to me and show your support to the TOM. If you appreciate this information, there's 22 people here on YouTube. There's 8 people on Rumble. So if you appreciate this, please send in support to let me know, hey, I appreciate the time that you've taken to put into this information here. So let me come back to the chat and see what everyone is saying. Okay, Shasep. Stephen E put to receive. Robert Williams put Roberto Reyes put light being. Shannon Souther says to count. And Jay Kirkland says utterance and sound. Okay. This is great. Roberto Reyes, I'm wondering why you say light being. Shasep means light being. Is that was that a guess that you is that a guess right there? Let me know, or if you know something. And Stephen E put to receive. Absolutely. Roberto Reyes said yes. Okay, so this is going to be great. He says light being. So yes, Shasep. Here in the Per M Haru, page 5, may I be received. Seshep. Right? Seshep means to receive something. May I be received in the presence of Osar in the land of triumph. To the Ka of Osar Ani. So yes, it means to receive. So Sheshet means to receive and palm. Right? So yes, to receive. As I stated earlier, meditation, which started with the scribes, taught that the palms are used to give and receive light information. Right? As I showed in the glyph for the D, when you see the arm stretched out with the hand, with the pyramid, the mer coming forth from the hand, coming forth from the palm, meaning to give. And also Shasep, which is the same word for palm, means to receive, right? And it means to give and receive light information. And Roberto Reyes said light being. So yes, Shasep, which is palm of the hand with a different determinative here, right? And Shasep, which means to take, receive, assume the crown. And Shasep also means make brightness and to lighten darkness. White, bright. So yes, that was an excellent guess. Roberto Reyes, it means light, right? It means to make bright. So the palm of the hand, to receive, to accept brightness, right? To receive light within the palm is the word Shasep. To receive light in the palm. And which is why a lot of times when you're in meditation, you'll open your palms up to receive. It helps to have you receive information, right? The opening of the palms. And then, of course, to close the palms is the which now you know. Now you have the knowledge. So now your palms are closed. And then here is the glyph right here of the outstretched arm of the palm receiving light. So here you see the actual glyph of the palm receiving light. And what does this mean? An arm with a palm holding sun rays is the word Heru, which is day. That which creates the day, the daytime. Heru is the outstretched arm in the palm receiving sunlight. The Shasep, to receive light, to become bright, which Heru is the day, but also to become Heru as well, a representation of the day. Right? The Neter Heru is a representation of the day, or Ra, which Ra also means day too, because Ra, the sun, creates the day. So absolutely, this is phenomenal right here. Our ancestors were absolutely the greatest beyond. It's not even close. It's not even close. So yes, the palm of the hand to receive light. Palm, of course, palm tree coming from the actual palm of the hand, and the palm tree branch is what Seshet and Tehuti is holding to etch out time, to give you a long life, to give you a length of life and rulership, right? So absolutely powerful. So then here we have meditate. I've showed this many times. To ponder, to think abstractly, engage in mental contemplation. From pi root med, to take appropriate measures. So med, to take appropriate measures. Meditate, to think, right? To take appropriate measures. So here, when we look at the crescent moon, variant, crescent moon, that's determinative in Yah, which is moon, who is another, this is another name for Tehuti. Tehuti's name is also Yah, right? So we're still here on Tehuti, the scribe of the Natiru. Also ideogram for same, ideogram for month, Ibed in dates. Occasional variant of F42, determinative in Wah Carabine. Also ideogram for same, determinative in Shesep, palm. Measure, to measure. Also ideogram for same. So Shesep, which is palm, is also when it has the crescent moon, it's also a representation of time, with Tehuti holding the staff of time and Shesep holding the staff of time, the palm tree, palm, and the palm creating the Shesep to receive light and to give provisions. Shesep, palm, measure. Here is length, and here is palm. Right here, 4 fingers. Shesep is 4 fingers. So 4 fingers is 1 palm, right? And then you have the bed, finger, 1/28th cubit, 1/4 of a palm. So 1/4 of a palm. Shesep is 4 fingers, which is 1 palm, 1/7 cubit, and then meh, which is cubit, is 7 palms, right? 7 palms or 28 fingers. So it's also a representation of time, to take appropriate measure. So which is what meditation is. Meditation to take appropriate measures. As Shesep, the palm, the receiving light in the palm, and Tehuti, the scribe of the Natiru, holding the palm branch, representation of time. So the Shesep, the palm with the moon determinative, because the moon is a representation of time itself. So Tehuti is a Natiru of time, creates actual measurement. So it is a measurement. So Shannon, when you said a ruler, you literally connected the two things. Even though the actual palm branch isn't used to rule, but it's great that you said that, and because the palm does connect to measurement. So that was definitely your coup, connecting that. So yes, these are the words for different types of measurements. So the meh, which is the cubit. So once you take appropriate measure, you then can make wise decisions moving forward. The duality to give and receive light information with open palms. Relief of Akhenaten as a Herukuti, which right here is Sphinx, but we don't use that word. We use Herukuti Tim, as I broke down the word earlier, Tim, to be complete, right? This is the Herukuti, and we see Akhenaten right here receiving light with his palms up, he's receiving. And he also has the neb bowl with his shin right there in the palm of his hands. And the literal sun rays are hands as well, right? With palms giving light. So this is a giving and receiving of light, the Shesep. So this is a beautiful image of Akhenaten demonstrating exactly what I just taught. Session number 641944 in the Met Museum, if anybody wants to look at this. All right, so to close out, to be a scribe means to give and receive, the duality of light and darkness, which also goes back into the tongue, the nes, the tongue, which is to give and to receive, which nes means to speak. It also means fire, but the tongue is the glyph for the tongue has two sides to it, so it's a double. It's a two-sided tongue, which means to give and receive. And the duality of light and darkness, to become a complete being and to teach the words of Tehuti. So this is the jobs of the scribes. So Shesh, once again, I love doubles. Sesh, which means to shine, to give out light, also means night and evening and darkness. Shesh, writer, designer, scribe. So as a shesh, as a scribe, right, you give light, you receive light. You're a representation of the duality of light and darkness. Right, the sesh. Absolutely beautiful. And we're going to close out with a prayer to Tehuti for skill in writing. Come to me, Tehuti, O noble ibis, O netter who longs for Khnum, O dispatch rider of the Ennead, the great one of Unu. Come to me that you may give advice and make me skillful in your office. Better is your profession than all professions. It makes men great. Who is skilled in it is found fit to exercise the office of the magistrate. I have seen many for whom you have acted, and they are in the council of the 30. They being strong and powerful through what you have done. You are the one who has given advice. You are the one who has given advice to the motherless man. Shay and Renan Wetet are with you. Come to me that you may advise me. I am the servant of your house. Let me relate your prowess in whatever land I am. Then the multitude of men shall say, how great are the things that Tehuti has done. Then they shall come with their children to brand them with your profession, a calling good to the Lord of victory. Joyful is the one who has exercised it. Adoration to Tehuti. Gave you two hymns of adoration to Tehuti. And here's a beautiful image here of giving the ka with the palms up, right? To give and receive through the palms to Tehuti, the Habu bird. Hotep, Maat, Ma'akaru, Henu. I am finished. All right, let me start.
Oh, chat, brother. That was phenomenal, my brother. That was absolutely phenomenal. Super deep.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, and comment. You got to support that. You got to support teachings like that. It's either that or you supporting the arguments and the ISFET. We got to support the young brothers and the brothers that are bringing forth information like that, because that's groundbreaking, brother. You know what? Your presentations get better and better every single time that I watch. They get better and better, brother, and way more deeper. And I'm proud of you. I just want to say Hindu to you because that is absolutely phenomenal. And it's I was today this morning. I watched. I had my Natur watch the class from Friday that Saba taught on family, and that was the longest class that he ever taught as far as on one session. And I think this is for you too, my brother. I'm not sure. I'm not looking at the time. It feels that way, but it's deep, and I just want to definitely give you your give you your flowers right now, and just tell you how proud of you I am, because this teaching is absolutely fantastic. So I implore everyone in the chat to show your support for this kind of work. Show your adoration to the young brother, and I just want to Hindu to the great brother Bajan Pharaoh for starting us off with those beautiful, beautiful pieces of art. And I need to come in with the closer, with the Scribe, my brother. You definitely are an echo of Tehuti. And I just want to say that your Ren is, I want to point out how excellent our teacher is for seeing that very early. I don't know what. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna say that, but I'm looking forward to seeing you, brothers. Come Friday. I love you, brothers, and it's an honor and a pleasure to stand next to you. I definitely got to run it back. I seen a couple people in the chat say that they had to run it back. I haven't even caught the last class. That the last session that he taught was on the Halloween question. I missed that. And then the one before that last week on the what was it? The 1, 2, 1, 3. It was the numbers. I didn't catch that, so I'm a little bit behind. But even though I'm here, the knowledge is so deep that I have to unlearn and relearn. So I just want to give you your adoration because I definitely got to run this back again because I'm here with it. But it's so deep that I'm on stage with you, my brother. And I'm right here standing next to you, but I just want to give you your adoration and tell you that was a phenomenal breakdown. And it's just so deep. And Hindu to our ancestors, Hindu to all the scribes that left behind that work for us to be able to digest and process like that. Because if not, we will be lost dealing with these Tamahus and the lies that they got us up under. So Tuah to you, great brother. Hindu.
Any Tuah for your words, great brother. Wonderful. Go ahead, Menkhu. Peace and love, great brother. I love that shirt.
Oh, you do? Okay, good to know. Good to know. I got something. Don't play with me. It's good to know. Tuah for this teaching. I feel like that was I know that was a straight up ceremony. What I love about how you teach and what you said about the ancestors and how everything was a double. Today I caught in the opening song in the intro how you said I'm a throwback. We talked about the ancients. I'm a throwback.
Yeah.
And you said every time I write, it's all doubles. So you were like, it may be quadruples. And I feel like you did that in your teachings, and you've been doing that in your teachings, and you're very consistent. You literally took us to LA with the poem. Who do you know do that? Like, this is like the best, besides Saba Tehuti. You the best teacher. Like, you are a natural born teacher. You were born, you are 1,000,000,000% the scribe, and you showed it like you always show how you scribe. I think like in every area of your life, you represent Maat, and that's very rare. It's very powerful. It's very beautiful. I remember when you got your Ren. If I could share a little bit of what happened when we were in LA and you got your Ren.
And please interrupt me if I'm oversharing, if you don't want the people to notice. But when you got your REN, I'll not give it all away. But when we came, when you visit a Part EE, a Nesubiti, a Pharaoh, you should bring offerings, right? And so we did that. And when you got your REN, it was so special to see what you did after that. You are a natural, straight up in the flesh Part EE. You are Maat. Like, you straight up love this. You rep it. What you did today was brilliant. It was just so surgically performed. It's like you and Saba are like flawless victories. The way that you teach, it's amazing. Like, y'all definitely, y'all are like, I don't know what I guess the scribe is the word that maybe I'm going to do some research, but it's above professor, right? Like, I think we are those in leadership, those that come to Saba's MetaNet or Monday class. The teaching that we are getting is the teaching that the ancestors were performing, and that's what we get from you and Saba. And it's so pure and special. And Saba talks about the pureness of our hearts, and you can tell you are dedicated to your teaching. You're meticulous, you care, and that's what is very necessary to be able to teach. And this is the one thing. There's a teacher that teaches and she trains people in school districts all around the world, and she's very profound. And what she says, because I deal with the schools, I deal with our youth in the community, and she said something very powerful. How our youth, because I shout out to all the teachers who attempt to teach worldwide. Teaching is a very special, precious thing to call yourself a teacher. And I don't want to be insensitive, because I know it's a lot. It's very hard work. It's one of the hardest jobs. Like, being a parent is a very hard job, right? So to prepare curriculums, to be in it day in and day out. I was a teacher, so I can say this. And so the thing that there's a trainer who, she's like a hip hop teacher, and her name is Dr. Bettina Love, and she talks about how our children in some of these schools are kind of like they're being mistreated, because she said a very powerful statement: if you don't love us, you can't teach us. And so because you have to care about the tone, the frequency, the vibration, the message, you have to really embody it. And so I feel like you really embody all of what I know you're learning. You're in training, you're under Saba, but you're in a very, very good place. You've been learning before you came to Saba, but what makes it extra special is how much you care about it. And who am I to say, but it flows very well. It's like you're a natural. And so Tua to you, great brother. Kes to you. Like, Tua, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be in your presence and your energy, because you rep it 1,000%. You put in the work, you're dedicated, you're married to it. So Tua to you.
Nini, Tua, for those wonderful words, great brother. Both of you great brothers are when I'm doing these, putting these things together, both of you are definitely on my mind, and great brother Ahati Maat as well. and what we're doing, and all the work as well that you're doing behind the scene to allow us to have these, which are festivals. This is the beginning of us recreating these festivals, and it's so powerful, and it I'm thankful and I'm grateful to stand alongside brothers like you all, and be able to literally, that's one of the greatest feelings in the world, I can tell you. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced this prior to, but prior, it was always, you know how most things say, if you want to get something done, do it yourself, and you can't really depend on someone to do something. Well, that's gone here when it comes to you, great brother. And I know I can depend on the great brother AFFIRMATION Maat and Ahati Maat as well. And that's a fantastic union and a real family. And it's so beautiful because it allows Maat to really exist, because when we all come together, it's literally formed like Voltron. And yeah, this is powerful. And so Tuah for your great words, and Tuah for your Maat, and for catching certain things, because that's who I write for. I write for those who can see beyond and hear beyond what's just being said and shown on the surface. And you point it out and bring it all the time. So Tuah for being able to see that, because if it wasn't for brothers like you, I'd just be doing all this for nothing. Because it's and it's definitely for a small group. And I always said, this is definitely for those who appreciate depth and the medet. And because it's deep. I mean, if it's deep. So yeah, this presentation was probably about 40% of what I have, which is great, because this is Scribal School. So there'll be more classes dealing with the scribes and going into the scribes. And this one we talked, I touched mostly on HAREMHAB, and started with the top, what to with him becoming a part EE and showing different scribes in between, Ramesses Nakat with the baboon on his head, and how all the scribes are a representation of Tehuti, and how scribes doesn't just mean to write. It's you as well are a scribe, and brother AFFIRMATION Maat is a scribe. BAJAN Pharaoh came up; he's a scribe. And it's beautiful, and for us to know this and be able to stand in that and represent that is powerful. So hotep to you, great brother, and Tuah for your words.
Yes, and Nini Uk for the images too. You have shown illustrations and pictures and artifacts of Tehuti I've never seen before. So the prayer. Woo, who do you know that the prayers? Come on, this is a straight up ceremony. Like, who do you know? We straight up taking you to the temples. Like, that was beautiful. The hymns, Tuah for the hymns. How could I forget that? So that was very, very powerful. The images of Tehuti are powerful. To be in this light is like very, very, very powerful. So I can't forget to give you your kes for that, Tuah for that.
Yes, Nini Uk. I knew you would love that. Those hymns, and HAREMHAB, and with that hymn that he was writing and looking at to Tehuti.
Oh yeah, because that's the one on the currency in Kemet. Yes. I shared that with you, brother. So yeah, Tuah for that. There's a lot packed in there. And so for the playback in the future, you're welcome. You're welcome. When people in the future discover this, who are really loving Maat, they are going to definitely get a gift. If they ever try to take away or hide what the ancestors left for us,
you are definitely, this is the ancient future. The ancient future will be discovered hopefully by our young people in the future, and this is our job. You are doing your duty to Maat. So meaning up to you, great brother, for your commitment, which is a huge deal, and so much appreciation is a huge deal. So this is the family love that we need. So Tua to you.
Absolutely. Nini Uk.
Yes, please.
Right.
Please send your support, your reciprocity for such a magical, powerful ceremony that this great brother has given to us.
All right. Yes, and I'll show that because we did get some good support in for this class. So Tua to everyone who supported. So let's show the support and then close out. All right. First, we have the great active member Stephen E 1072 for Tua Ishin. Of course, great brother. We you know how much we appreciate you, Tua, for everything that you're doing. Looking forward to meeting you at the Pathways, great brother, and yes, Tua, for your continued support. Hotep Hinu. All right, next we have Sandra Shepard, 772 for great class as always. Hinu. Peace to you, sister. Spiritual Fruit 90, Sandra Shepard. Tua for your support and supporting the teachings, and for your medu, for your words. Hinu to you. Tua for being here in class. All right. Next we have Robert E. Williams Jr., 1072 on the strength. Tua. Robert E. Williams, 1072. Hotep, good brother. Hinu to you. Tua for your support. It was great to see you in class here, and we appreciate you and supporting us and supporting the teachings in the class today. Hotep Hinu. All right, next we have Nicholas Savinston, who is an active member of the TOM, who sends $10 for Scribal School Sunday teachings and support. Tua Ani Pata and whole TOM. Hinu. Hinu to you, Hotep, for the support, you know, and for taking that step and becoming a member. Hotep to you for that, because this is definitely you putting yourself in a position and placing yourself around greatness and around that which is restoring Ma'at and truth back into this onto this planet, into this planet. All thanks to our great Saba Tehuti, Amenhotep Ra. So to our good brother for leading by example and leading with the left, leading with your Eve. All right, next we have from Carolina Mencia, Nefer Keperet, who says, Hinu to you, Nesu Ani, you work hours on end to create the classes full of Heka. You are seen and appreciated. Tua for your Heka'u and your transformations. Tua to you. Yes, Hinu to you, Nefer Keperet, for everything that you do for me. Behind the scenes, you assist me in allowing me to be able to utilize more time in other aspects because you pick up in other areas. So Hinu to you for being wonderful. You're beautiful, and Tua for your support. All right, next we have Jay Kirkland, 572, Hinu, Saba, Nefer, Ani, Nefer, Hinu, Kapana. Hotep to you, Jay Kirkland, another one of the great active members. Hinu to you. Tua for your support, for supporting the class, and for being here in the class. Good brother. Hotep to you. All right, and last to save the last for BAJAN PHARAOH, who was the one to come up and show his wonderful, his Nefer artwork, who sends in $50 for supporting Tua, for giving me the opportunity. Hotep. Nini good brother, Hotep and Hinu to you. Tua for bringing your beautiful, wonderful artwork up here, and letting the community see your talent, see your skill set, and for representing and utilizing and the artwork that you do. I love that you're able to give some teachings alongside your artwork, and explain certain aspects, which is great, as beautiful, and continue to keep doing that, good brother, and keep honing in on that skill. And there would definitely be, we can definitely utilize your ability for some very powerful things in the future. And yes, just stay consistent, great brother. Tua for your support, and sending you much love. And okay, hold on, we got another support in just now, so let me pull this up. Oops. All right, share this tab, and here we go. Shannon Southern, 555, hymns and adoration to Tehuti. To our sister for your support and for everything that you're helping with as well, behind the scenes. Looking forward to seeing you again at the Pathways to Awakening and seeing some of your lovely creations that you have, and what you're going to allow people to take home with them. Looking forward to seeing what you create. So Hotep to you, and yes, Henu to Tehuti, Henu to the Natiru, Henu to the ancestors. All right. Hotep, everyone. That was the last support. If you all want to support this class, those who are watching on the playback, the links are in the description box. Cash App, PayPal, Teachings of Maat. This is we are the scribes bringing forth this information, and this is how these scribes were able to live, right? Because if we're teaching the information, that means we have to take time away from everything else to be able to bring and relay this to you all, so you all can benefit from this and take this with you, so you can have information on how to attain eternal life and become complete, right? So to help us do this, it's you all's support that allows the scribes to be able to focus in on what it is that we do, to be able to bring forward the teachings that Tehuti had left for us, from going into the Netzerkert and coming back and leaving it for us and passing it down from father to son, from mother to daughter, and to here now where we stand today, all from Saba Tehuti, Amun Hotep Ra. So Tua for everyone who supported this information. I feel great. I'm happy that you all supported this class, and now I can go back in for Scribal School. This one was Carving Reality, and there'll be another class going into some more information on the scribes. So peace and love, everyone. Robert Reyes says, we'll donate this week. We'll donate this week to our good brother, which of course the T and the D is interchangeable, just missing an H. So peace, good brother. Appreciate you and your tones and your vibrations. Nicholas Noetic says, Aout is strong. Absolutely. Bijan Farrell, Tua family. Robert Williams, every day I advance towards my aunt. Stephen E. Nini Ook, Henu to you, great brothers. Jason Kirkland, Aku Jaseneb, at Menkhu Ara Meri Maat. Fire background, a Tef. All right. So I'll close out by saying Hotep and Henu, Hotep Maat, Tua for your attention. Without this could never exist. Tua for everyone who gave support and supports this information. Hit the like button if you haven't. Share this video. And Metanetter Monday is tomorrow, and then we'll a lot of us will see each other in person in LA next to the palm trees. So look forward to seeing and embracing the family again. And this is going to be excellent. This is going to be fire. This is going to be a fantastic event. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, get your tickets to the Pathways to Awakening event. This is the last week. The Friday at 7 p.m. will be the last time anyone will be able to get any tickets. Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time is the last time anyone will be able to get any tickets. This is a secured event, so only those who have tickets will be able to come through the door. We have lanyards for you, so we know. So yes, absolutely, there will be no one coming in at the door. So make sure everyone gets your tickets. All right, I'll send you all Ankh the Jed Usir. And may you all continue to live in prosperity. Sekim M Arit Murder Ka'a Semu Hatu Natiru Per In Hetep. I obtain the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the Natiru lead me. I come forth in peace. Hotep.
Menkhu, you got any closing words, great brother?
Tour to the chat. Peace and love. Thank you for being here. Tour to the brothers on the panel. It's an honor to stand with you. Shout out to the great brother Ahati, Maat. Looking forward to being in LA with everyone. And man, the days just get better and better. It's been a great year. So tour to you all. Hope you all have a great week. For all of those who are going to be in the MetaNetter Monday ceremony. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Tour again to Ani Patah for a wonderful lesson, and peace and love to you all.
Hotep, peace and love, everybody. Thank you for coming out, giving us your attention. This has been another excellent class. Tour to you, great brother Ani. Definitely looking forward to seeing you again and spending some time building. You already know. And Henu Hotep to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the support. We love you all. And there will not be a class on Sunday. We will not be here Sunday. Next Sunday, because again, we will be having our celebration. So get your tickets. Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific is the last time. We will come back the next week after that, the following Sunday. So looking forward to seeing you all. Who else is going to come out to the celebration and celebrate with us as a family. So, Henu, with that, we will close our wonderful show the same way we open with our beautiful affirmation.
We have one more support to show that came in, and then we'll close out. The great brother Bajan Farrell sent in $9 more. The 9, the Pesh, the Pa'ut, for Henu to Asaba. Peace and love.
What's up, great brother? To a great brother, Bajan Farrell. Keep up the good work, my brother. Definitely, we are building a nation, and we need all the netters and their skills. So, to you, great brother.
Yes.
And the Turks. Can't forget the Turks. So with that, we will close our class the same way we start, with our beautiful affirmation from today's teachings. Behold, I collect charm, this from every place where it is, from the person with whom it is, quicker than greyhounds, fleeter than light, hail bringer of the boat. Sesep a imba asar im ta, in makaru in ka in asar ani. May I be received in the presence of Osiris in the land of triumph, to the ka of asar ani. Unki em ma'at, un in s, nintet or set em ma'at, min hepapet em ma'at, her in hukui, per iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
Hotep.
Hotep.
My eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please, but there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed? Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, fear had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guys came in so essential. Daylight astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.